Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the HSBG podcast. I'm your host, K. Collins. I'm here with my constant co-host, Shady Bunny. Shady, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing great. How are
All
you?
right, ignore you. We also have a special guest here today, Saphirexx, my current duo partner. We've been having some fun games. How have you been, Sapphire?
I mean, we lost our last game, so
Yeah,
not
okay.
great.
You didn't have to say that. Like this. You gotta,
All
you
right,
gotta.
redo 1, 2. No.
It's been good. It's been good.
But yeah, how are you, Shady? Like how has things been?
Good. I think I'm like up 2,000 MMR since Buddy or something. So
Same,
it's just
same.
stonks, dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
I thought
yeah,
you
I
were a
think it's
Buddy
just
hater. What's going on?
I love quests and I like Buddy slightly less.
Yeah.
Assuming, right? That's
Yeah.
I like Buddies more than vanilla.
Okay.
Yeah, I like most mechanics more than vanilla.
Fair.
I think when you increase the complexity of the game, it's generally better for the more experienced player, especially when it's returning mechanics. So pretty I'm usually very happy to play quests for buddies.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So how's the duos been with you guys?
Azrite. Can't shut up. Play Azrite.
Only half the
Yeah.
lobbies we play Azrite in, though. To be fair,
We actually
So
didn't play that much Azrite today, so yeah.
That was the thing I was a little bit afraid of for duos, that it
Yeah.
would be just a little bit too easy to get the stuff that's good. I guess you guys played a lot of Ghoul, or
Yeah,
was
we
Ghoul
did.
not really that good?
Yeah.
the problem with duos, especially though, is like there are so many ways to copy cards that it kind of comes down to whoever just gets whoever discovers the ghoul first. A lot of the times in like the older ghoul lobbies, like
Yeah, I hardly played Ghoul in solos, right? That's why
Oh.
I thought it'd be different in duos, because it's not like it was bad. It's just if you don't get it fast enough, and all the battle cry buddy stuff was so giga broken that
Well,
I had so many lobbies where I just killed Ghoul players because like, okay, nice 400 noob, or it's just like it doesn't matter when you're popping off with like infinite crag money or something.
Well, I mean, so the thing about it is that like in duos, like there's an evolution of like what people are abusing. So like maybe day one you can win with your 400. Day two people like not day two, but like week two people started learning like you could really abuse the death rattle shenanigans with it. Then day three people are like picking heroes that abuse it as well. So you had like Brucon, just like with the buddy, is a ton of death rattles. Sneed buddy, super stupid, right? You just get infinite death rattles, and then just people playing abusing the beatboxer, yeah, the beatboxer. You're just to have tons of menaces and stuff like that. So you'd have one turn, people would be gaining like golden macaw attacks. They gain like 400 per attack, that kind of thing, where it's just like on their whole board. It's like their token, they kill a thing, a token gets summoned, it gains like 300 stats. So they just like, that's not beatable.
I'm not even exaggerating. We had a 20-minute fight yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I skipped 3 combats.
Yeah.
You had a 20-minute fight.
Okay,
Yes.
so Saf's computer's a little bit slower than mine.
Collins' fight was like 15 minutes though.
Yeah.
It was absurd. It was a Sneed with 2 golden buddies, golden reborn macaw. Did he have double golden baron or?
We at least like a baron or two, like some whatever.
Sure. So lots of triggers, and
then Collins was running the same. Collins was running
the same thing, yeah.
Right. But it's also the ghoul animation was very slow.
It's
right?
so slow, yeah.
Many triggers, but that's usually when they have new stuff, right? New
when it's
stuff
proccing 50 or 60 times, it's like absurd.
I mean, but it was proccing like 200 times, right?
Yeah, because it was like double golden Sneed buddy, but then he also had a golden beatboxer with I don't know how many menaces, but like a lot.
Literally just sitting like those turns just get skipped because it takes too long. So you just you do your thing and you're like, well, that's it. Like we're just playing till the game dies because we can't play a single card.
And you cannot reconnect? Or
no, like in duos, if you try to reconnect, it'll sometimes just crash or it takes forever. To be fair, I did. It crashed my game and I was able to get reconnected, right? And I got reconnected with like 100 seconds left, so that did work for me. But That's not a
It's
consistent strategy.
duos.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just literally won't let you back in the game.
Sure. Yeah, I haven't reconnected in forever in solo, so I don't know how it happens there. Okay, so yeah, with that in mind, I guess we'll go over the cards, and I guess we'll see sort of what the dynamic's going to be with how much duo talk, how much solo talk.
Sure.
I don't even know what sort of the distribution of the player base is, like what people are
It
playing.
doesn't matter. Just do what you want, Shady.
Do what I want.
Yeah, just say what you want, and we'll adjust. You know,
Sure.
I'll say what I want.
Okay.
You know, like I don't
We'll
care.
see what the
See how you're
sort of-
feeling. Yeah.
So the biggest change, or the biggest two changes, right, for the patch is the Ghoul nerf and that skill being removed. So those were two,
Yeah, I would say
at least
so.
the solos, right? The two biggest offenders was
Mhm.
the repeat battle cry triggers of buddies. So that's something they're tackling in part by removing that skill, and then the other one was Ghoul no longer stacks with the amount of death rattles triggers, just death rattle minions dying.
Yeah.
Can go over that one quickly over here. Yeah. So this is now after friendly death rattle minion dies, give your minions 2/2 permanently. Yeah. So I guess the first thing to go over is, have you guys been doing a lot of Battlecry buddy shenanigans since that skill's been removed, or not really?
Since it's been removed,
Like just today?
Yeah. So have you done anything where essentially my fear is that with Murkai with Trigger Battlecry, there's still, for instance, something like Myv is still just dumb.
it's definitely less. Like
Sure, less of course.
you know, we still do battle cry stuff, but it's not as abusable as like, oh, you know, every turn I get to just pop this. I mean, we did do like Rylac with Quillbore stuff, like that was something we did, so you know, you have like 30-40 a jump. You know, that's
Sure.
still pretty strong, but
I was mainly talking just illegal buddy activities, I guess, things that really shouldn't be able to be procced. You know?
So the nice thing in duos is that you still have the pass spell. So like, let's say you're playing Crag, you can play it.
So you
and
guys
just
do it
pass.
regardless.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it doesn't matter. Like we can still do it. It's just it's more work. Like this is definitely easier because you get this and you're done. Where like you roll, you have to roll for like a pass spell, and it's kind of like, and then you still have to spend the gold. So it's
Well, there's also Well Wisher, which is just it's
Yeah.
a card that gives you a spellcraft that is a free pass every turn.
yeah. So there are ways to do it regardless, but it's harder. I agree. It is harder.
It just seems so difficult, like especially in an environment where you have the pass mechanic, which is essentially right trigger battle cry with extra steps.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that they didn't outright change the buddies to not be battle cries.
Right.
Because right, something like Sylvanas, something like Maiev, something like Zephyrus, this feels like it's so difficult to not break the game when you hit that buddy and then a couple repeat triggers.
Yeah, it's funny, right? You'd have to change all the battle cries to sell, or you sell like right.
Well, I
Or
thought
when you play this card or something.
Yeah, originally what I thought was they were just going to temporarily disable Death Scale, trigger Battle Cry, Rylac, and then maybe Murkai. And just say, okay, this is like way too crazy that you can recycle. Because like Sylvanas Grave Robber, I think is like a peak example of like you really shouldn't be able to make, 8 Nathanos.
42k attack.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Excuse me, it just invalidates like everything your opponent did the entire game. Like I got more stats than him in 20 seconds than he did in 14 turns.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. It's like it seems unreasonable that these like extremely powerful buddy effects are able to be recycled. But then I guess in duos, right, you do have the pass mechanic. So I guess it's for high level battlegrounds. It seems. I guess first of all,
it's still unreasonable. Like we lost to Sylvanas, and it's just like, oh, they had a 256. Next turn they had a 566, and it's like, oh, okay, nothing. What are we doing? What are we doing here? So it is pretty powerful.
Okay, sure. All right. Well, I guess we'll come back to that because otherwise we're gonna be here for like 50 minutes on that skill because I think that could be a 50-minute discussion.
Good change.
Yeah. I will say real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
At least in duos, I feel like death scale is more of a nerf to solo than duo because at least the only thing that the death scale really affects a lot in duos with the other pass mechanics and stuff is like the mid range comps like the Nawa comp and like the Bran Kali
well-
comp, like with the 5-drop dragon that gets you the 2/1, like that kind of thing.
Mostly
Yeah.
affects the heroes. Like Crag is slightly weaker, stuff like that. So it doesn't affect
Yeah,
the
but-
comps, but it affects the heroes.
There's still a lot of ways for
But
Yeah,
that-
there's
even
still,
that
but still it's weaker, is what I'm saying.
But that statement is crazy to me. Like, yeah, now I maybe only have 40 gold per turn instead of 80, so Crag is slightly weaker. That's like to say that in like sort of a matter of fact way to me is silly. Where I find it, for me essentially for me this is okay as a first round of nerfs. I'm just curious, right? Because halfway for the season mark, right? It's about 2 months. So we've now had like let's say a week and a half, 2 weeks. So that's like six more weeks. Are we gonna have 6 more weeks of Crag having infinite money every time he rolls some trigger battle cries, or in duos if you guys find some pass mechanics? I guess that's my question. Where I'm not sure if it's acceptable to have repeat triggers on buddies.
Right.
Yeah, at the very least, they need to make the buddies non-tribal, like the Crag buddy, the Sylvanas buddy, like something like that, because that would make it a lot harder to keep on board and a lot harder to trigger.
Yes, Sylvanas being an undead is silly.
Yeah, they
That
need to
makes-
change some minion types of some buddies. I think that would also help. Yeah.
But we don't
Sure,
have to
but
keep talking
I'm-
about this skill. That was just kind of like a
The
side
undead
item.
one is, I think, the biggest offender. Yeah.
Right. Because I mean, Crag buddy, you could make a no type and it's no problem.
Yeah. I
You
agree.
would still keep that. It's like, oh, infinite money. It's
But now
kind
you
of like
can scale it. You see. Now I'm scaling it in my beast comp. I'm like, well, I guess with
Well, you're
Super
scaling it with
Cowbird,
Moon
it
Eater.
doesn't matter.
Right, you scale it with Moon Eaters, so type doesn't even matter.
Sure.
All right. Okay, then Gem Smuggler's back and Hunter of Gather. Hunter of Gather feels like it's like, hey, that skill's out. I guess we need to put a tier 5 dragon in.
That's exactly
100% what it is.
We'll do the slot filler. Gem Smuggler, I think, is good because like Quilboar were pretty weak before they removed Gem Smuggler, and then we're just non-existent after the removal for Gem Smuggler, at least in solos.
Yeah.
So I don't know what your
mostly
take is.
in duos too. I was a Quilboar, hipster, right? So maybe Sapphire didn't like it, but I'd go Quilboars anyways. He didn't like it, and sometimes it worked. But now I can go Quilboars, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." So
You could
things have
actually get
changed.
Smuggler, right.
It'd get like a turn 6 drop, and he'd be like, ooh, send me the pokey. And I'm like, all right, what's your second choice?
Well, he'd send me the poker, but yeah, I do think it's crazy like how much stronger just adding. I mean, they did other Quilboar changes, but the Gem Smuggler is like the biggest one where it's like, oh, now I can do. Like we fought a board where people were gaining thousands of stats out of health because of Smuggler being back in, so it's definitely a lot better.
And is that essentially just unique to Murkai, or do you see them playing with other stuff?
It's Rylak.
No, it was Golden. It was Golden Reborn Rylak with Golden Macaw.
Yeah.
So it's just tempo. In that
I mean,
case.
it'd be 1,000 health tempo. You're like, sure, they win the game. So whatever. Call it tempo. But yeah, they won the game, so we take that. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot better to have it in, right? It gives Quilboars extra scaling tools. And like Golden Gem Smuggler, if you get 3 of them, is still going to be like huge tempo for sure. So
Yeah. But I mean, the death skill being out does affect it quite a bit, at least for solos.
Yeah.
Gonna be so that's why I asked if it's essentially just Murkai, what it felt to me.
So it's still the same. You need picky early. So you got picky early, and then like eventually like you have like an 8 attack thing. This is like giving you good tempo to like continue doing, like to bridge you into the late game.
So I think the easiest way to play, like I think the best way to play it now is either with Rylak Macaw or with Bran Murkai. But if you do with what is it called, Bacon or Jazzer being easier to get now.
Yeah.
You can play Jazzer Rylak into the Smuggler comp later on.
Sure. That makes sense. Okay. You can just kind of like yeet the Jazzer.
Eat the Jazzer and then
put the
replace it with
Smuggler
the
down.
Smuggler.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just take the slots. All right, that's fair. Yeah, like some of them are not really. We're not gonna spend too
This
much
one
time
was
on.
funny, like Skyblazer nerf. Yeah, that was relevant.
I think at a high MMR is like, oh, Skyblazer, that card was still in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they killed
Yeah.
mid-range beast for no reason. It was
Well,
already dead.
it's the thing is, when we're talking about these things, it's always so difficult because I always like to be fair and look at it from both points of view. I don't think they look at it and be like, oh, mid-range beast is not doing anything. Let's make it do less. I think they look at numbers, right? And these comps that don't require or require very little decision making, which is essentially play Skybase or play Lasher in the back and then do nothing. Those comps probably destroy at 4K.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm guessing happened there. Their data just suggested that beasts were owning, and then Ghoul probably made the numbers like go into the red. We're like, oh my god, this is a problem.
My assumption is that this was a problem before buddies came in, and it was like a big problem. So they're like, okay, we'll add buddies and we'll see, and we'll have like this change in the works, and then they like they what is it? They accepted it or they added it in like after buddies came out, and they're like, oh, it's probably fine, but like in the buddy meta, it doesn't do anything. Like this isn't that relevant, but
well, it doesn't do anything for us. But my question is, does it do anything for, let's say, 6K and below?
Anything that lets you force a comp is always going to be strong lower tier. And this
anything that removes tempo is always going to be like a nerf for the lower MMR.
The one thing that's the question here is whether it was just, I don't assume it's just that, right? But you can imagine Ghoul pushing beast win rate through the roof and then saying, oh, we need to hit beast hard. But it's like it's just Ghoul. I don't think it's just that. I mean, it might be a minor part in it where they just see beasts in general winning a ton. Because for us, when we think of Ghoul, we don't really think of beast. We think of, okay, just Titus death rattle triggers. It's not beast. I'll play whatever as a death rattle on it. Yeah. But I think for most of the player base, it was, oh, I'm playing beast, and
beasts
then
are in.
Ghoul is a great addition.
Yeah, like beasts are
it's like a great addition to just add Ghoul to my Lasher and my Skyblazer comp. And now I just have more scaling because I have, a mech horse or two mech horses. Okay, well, whatever. It's a bit of a weird change for MMR, but I guess I can see it in the grand scheme. Lasher is the same thing. Although I will say, so for those of you just listening, Lasher is now 9 damage instead of 5.
Yeah.
But only scales health. So it's 2 health instead of 1/1.
Did it used to be 2 health or was it 1 health?
Yeah, it was absolute unplayable dog shit, but it was just health.
Yeah, but was it 2 health or 1 is what I'm not sure.
I think it was 2.
You think it was 2?
It might have been 1.
Yeah, so
I think it was originally 2, they moved it to 1, then they made it 1/1.
Right. And it was I think it was strong at 2. Right, and then they nerfed it to 1, and then it was like, oh, kind of weak, and then they put it to 1 when it was very strong, and then
Lasher for me was never playable unless it gave itself damage. So I don't know.
You're right. That's true. I don't think it was strong when it was at 2, but I think it initially was at 2.
Because I mean, it's like Battlemaster, right? Battlemaster in this meta would do nothing, less than nothing, right? And it's basically a Battlemaster.
I miss when Battlemasters are nuts. I have so many memories of
make like a 350. You're like, that's 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah. Where I like triple into a Battlemaster on 4 health because I have no life, and I'm like, 100 health Battlemaster saves me, But nowadays,
I can go straight to 6.
Yeah.
So one thing for Lasher that is different this time around is Ghoul exists, right? Be it weaker, but there is a way to increase the damage on the Lasher somewhat consistently. So I don't think this is like very viable at high level, but how do you guys sort of gauge beasts, let's say, across the player base? Do you think this is still decent? Or is it just not really playable?
Maybe a low MMR, but...
Yeah, like maybe really low MMR.
Hey, don't insult our viewers. Just regular low.
There's like the thing is like if you just play Deflectos, you're gonna beat mid-range beast now, right? Like the only playable
like
mid to high.
If you're running like, sorry, please finish your thoughts, Seth.
Like I think the only thing that's playable at like mid to high MMR for beast is like Goldrin. I'm not counting Ghoulacabra as beast.
Yeah. Goldren is
Right, so
nuts.
let's put some numbers on it. Is that 6K the same thing Blizzard says, or what's your cutoff for that?
Or like 8K.
Yeah.
Starting
Maybe
at
like,
8,
maybe like
Yeah.
7.
Which is
7.5.
still like top like 10, top
It's
5.
like a very small
Yeah.
percentage of the
Like,
player
you
base.
know
That's
what
why I
I
always
mean?
want to be
So
careful with that. Yeah. Now I do agree that we have to talk from our experience, right? For the most part, we're talking out of our ass like, yeah, it's probably like 6.25. Other than that, I wouldn't play it, right? That's hard to do. I was just curious the essentially say are beasts that, because at high MMR it's like garbage. I have no idea why I would ever play this.
I think you could play it, but you're
If I
probably
have
playing for top 4.
Yeah, if you would have to, especially in solos, I think
Yeah.
where you can be as picky, where
I mean, in
you're not
duos, you're
pushing.
dead. You can't do this.
Right, yeah, if you're running this for duos, it's unfortunate. All right. Cool. Then we have a few changes here, which I think we can group together. We have
the
Synthesizer,
dragon
Tarek,
stuff.
Rob Smuggler, Rallier. These are all just mid-range dragon buffs.
Yep.
What I assume happened is they saw dragon number is low. Let's
Yeah.
increase dragon win rate number.
Yeah, I agree with that. The Rallier one's
it
the
is
most annoying in my opinion.
It's a little scary. I gotta say. Have you guys played with it?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, we played against it. Everyone's good. There was a game. Everyone's going Tempo Dragons against us every time. I was like, "Come on, stop it! Like, leave us alone." Double Rallier every time. 6 attack now, and it has 2/6 base, so it's harder to snipe. So
Yeah, the 6 health. I don't even care about it being a 3-1 buff instead of a 2-1 buff. The fact that it
Just
has
the
more
6
health on it just
Yeah.
makes it harder to kill to turn 5, 6, 7. Like
That's fair. That's fair. I have not really played with it myself, but I definitely prefer this. Like the 2/2 was really, really dumb.
yeah.
And this is not quite as dumb, but it's more dumb than the previous version, so it's close.
But
I
to be
guess.
fair, we were skipping Rallier now, so like maybe now you're like, oh, I guess it's good tempo. It's a 5/6, or 5/7.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe.
Well,
that's true.
skipping Rallier is also part of it being buddy meta, and there's like this, like you gotta go to the moon, right? Like you
Sure.
can't be playing mid-range dragons for the most part.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the opponents did lose. So, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. I guess one thing that's kind of cute is
The
I think with
3/2.
Synthesizer, if you make it gold and put an extra Ryle, I can play Poet, right? That's like, if you have to do something to survive, I think that's sort of a cute thing you can do now with this being more stats. Obviously, it's not what you want to be doing, but that's
Just
some
play
fun
Alex
mix.
Strazo. Get out of
Yeah.
Get the 3/3 instead of the 2/2.
All right. Okay, then Ghoulacabra, we talked about
Yeah.
this. This is now whenever a Death Rattle minion dies instead of a Death Rattle trigger, which is, it's hard to overstate just how.
Who designed the old version? Bring me their names. I want to
Bring me their head.
Let's, like, we think this is dumb. Let's see how dumb. Like, oh, really dumb. Okay. I'll be honest. I think for the most part they saw what was going to happen, but they missed the menace stacking. Right, where you really giga abuse the number of death rattles on one unit. I think they saw it and were like, "Oh, this is great. Let's
even
let's
without the menace stacking though, with buddies in, there's so many ways to abuse it. So,
Sure. Okay. Well,
absurd.
Sneed buddy. So I think anything that has more than one death rattle, right? They didn't think of. I think they thought of Macaw, Titus, stacking, and they were like, "Oh, this is strong." But when you saw it with, "Oh, I have 20 death rattles on one guy," I was like, "Oh, yes, probably shouldn't exist."
When it said crimes and duos, I'm like, they saw our clip. Someone clipped what we've been doing.
They saw the 20-minute fight.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. I need to grab that.
It was just like, oh, here's one attack, here's like 800 on everything. Here's 20 minutes of just sitting. I'm just sitting here for like 10 minutes, and then the fight ends and right into the next fight. And I'm just like, I did nothing. It's like, what do you do?
All right. I'm gonna make a YouTube short out of that. Send me the footage.
It won't be a short.
No. It'll be like times 32 speed, right? So it'll be a short. But
okay.
You'll just see the timer go like. All right. So I guess what it comes down to is, have you guys played with this at all?
Yeah, of course. It's still good.
Right.
Still
great.
very strong. Yeah.
So good as in, I'll play it. I'm kind of strong. I'm looking to do something else, or I'm like really committed to this.
Tier 1 comp.
To be fair, we had 3 golden ones when the one time we did play it. But
true.
Right. So most things are good when you have 3. like Caligos is pretty good when you have 3 golden Calis,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
but
I'm
but
not
it was
sure if you could say-
still good tempo whenever we only had one on
Yeah,
board.
yeah. Even with just one, it's
yeah, good tempo. I'm all on board for that. I'm just thinking, can you actually build this and beat someone that's doing buddy stuff? I guess is my thinking. But that's, I guess, mainly a solos question, because I think in duos you can always,
Yeah,
like you said, just
so
have 3
the
golden.
thing is, in duos, both players, either one player is mega busted, right, and it like doesn't matter what the other person, you give them something to do, like, oh, play with the toys, like I'll give you, here's a Nala, or you need, both players need something to do, right? You get this is something to do for one player, then the other, then you can focus on getting the other player something to do. So this is a good comp. So you get it, okay, they're playing Death Rattle stuff, they're good. Now, what does the other person needed? Like, how do we get the teammates something to do? Tethys, Rock, Greymanes, that kind of stuff, like whatever, Azurite. Well, if they're playing Azurite, we're both playing Azurite, so that doesn't count. But, so this is something you get, and like, okay, you are playing this comp, so it's
what does the
enough.
board look like, ideally, if you're doing this right now?
The Ghoulacabra?
Yeah, so let's say you're
So
committing into Ghoulacabra, what are you
yeah.
building?
So I think with the Death Rattle change, or the Ghoulacabra change, with it only triggering once per Death Rattle now and not triggering like with Macaw and stuff, I think ideally you would run Ghoulacabra in a normal Goldrin comp with like the Reborn Goldrin, the Macaw, the Baron with double Mech Horse, and then whatever your 7th card is, whether it's 2 Ghoulacabras, so you have that as your 7th card, or a Coiler, whatever it may be.
It just
Okay,
lets
so-
you level to go to 6 and then find the rest of the pieces you
Yeah,
need.
so
I'm
it's a
not
permanent
quite
scaling
Ghoulacabra,
card in a
yeah.
Goldrin comp.
Okay, that makes sense. So I had a hard time sort of picturing how you were gonna juice
Win.
up
Yeah.
your board enough with just mech horses, but you're essentially just it's kind of like Fell Stomper, like a really, really good Fell Stomper.
That you can keep. Yeah.
But it scales
buffs
your Baron.
Yeah.
buffs your Titus, right? That's
Titus, yeah, sorry.
okay. I can see that. Yeah. So triple into this, take your tempo, which is still fantastic. You have 1 mech horse is fantastic with this, and then you push into Goldrin. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. Or your 7th card a lot of the time too, that we've been running is what's the monkey on Tavern
Yeah,
Fort?
the Terraform monkey. I knew you were gonna say
Yeah.
that one.
Primate, because
Primate.
we've been running that a lot. in this
Just
comp.
get extra 10 gold at the start of your turn to
Yeah.
level. It's so clean.
Yeah, with mech horse, it's
Yeah,
silly.
yeah.
I had the best game ever with Eudora, where I'm just gonna say it, and you're gonna be like, oh, high hero power, get a golden primate,
Yeah, of
triple
course.
into
Yeah, of
Rapscallion,
course
play Rapscallion. Literally on turn, what was it? I think that was the 8 gold turn, right? So then the 9 gold turn is
So turn
20,
5.
like 23 gold. 23 gold is actually just dumb. No, it was. I think it was a 9 gold turn, right? Because
Okay.
no. I was on 4, right? I was on 4 because yeah. So on the 9 gold turn, I have 23 gold.
Yeah. If you skipped 1 dig, then you'd get your golden minion on turn 6.
Uh,
So like if you don't dig turn 1, or if
No,
you
I
miss
get it
level
all.
turn 2.
yeah. I guess it was turn 7 then, right? But that makes sense. Turn 7 is 9 gold, right? Yeah. So on the 9 gold turn, I had so on turn 6, I got it, and then yep. Okay. So yeah,
You won that game.
That was great. 20 extra gold per turn is pretty good. Now the funny thing is, I played Rock that game. I just went to
No,
6, I
that makes
started
sense.
buying-
That makes sense. That makes sense.
That makes a lot as well for most people. It won't.
No, for
but
us,
like,
we'd
you
also
have
be
the
playing
perfect death
Rock,
rattle.
but it'd be our teammate. You know, see what I'm saying?
Right. You'd be feeding the Rock. You would keep farming money.
Yeah,
and then
I would
actually
get
farming
infinite money, and he would just
Rock
have.
Rock's don't already have death rattle, so I had to get out of my money. But okay, that's funny. All right, then Jazzer being a 2-drop. I've seen a little bit of that today, but I'm guessing this is more like dumb in duos because you can sort of be like, oh, here's the Rylak, I'll pass it to you.
Yeah, it's more doable.
It's a buff to like Shudder and Bran and stuff.
You don't force it though. You
No.
know, like if your opponent has a Jazzer Ray, then yeah, sure. But it's not like, oh, I see a Jazzer, I'll pass it to you, like whatever. Like just, you played maybe. And if you get double
Right, but-
Jazzer, then it's good, right? Like,
But do you buy this on tier 2? Like, let's say you have this and just
it's better
like
than some
generic,
other options. Yeah.
like generic 2-drop. Like, what's a good one? Like a generic.
So
one?
we have a lot of duo specific 2-drops that like that you're not thinking about? Like, so there's
Right. Yeah. I'm thinking something like a reborn Ziliax thing.
so there's a
right?
lot of
That's
2 drops
like,
that we'll just take because they're like, oh, here's a gold for you. Here's -2 to the body. But
yeah, Shell Collector's good, right? So
Well, the teammate,
I know, right? But
So,
it's like
yeah,
it's Shell Collector
yeah.
basically, right?
So like,
Yes,
it
yeah.
has to be worse. It has to be worse than those, but maybe.
All right.
Like you're
But-
not taking the Jazzer over those type of cards, but if,
No.
But like if you're Bran, it's good. If you're Shudderwalk, it gives you something
Sure.
to scale hero power. If you're Myv, it's a good hero power target. Like just when you have the 1 goal and you need a hero power something, like that type of stuff. It's not something that I would say
you're forcing. Yeah.
So a bit more hero dependent. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. I would take like the 3/4 Divine Shield or the 3/4 Reborn over, like, just in a nutshell.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm at right now myself. Then Boon of Beetles is now Boon of Beetle with 10/10 instead of 3/3s.
Card was too strong anyways.
It was.
It's too strong everywhere, right? It's like I can get scammed. Oh, now I can't.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
I'm
I'll
happy
kill all
with
your
the change.
shields, so I'll tank your venoms. Oh, just so good.
It being 1 cost though just means like you just always buy it. Like, yeah, all right, sorry, I'll play it.
Endgame.
So, yeah, endgame. Yeah, free 10.
Or if you're floating, right? You're like, okay, sure.
It's good tempo.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, I'm not sure if this should exist. I really, really,
I hear
really
you.
dislike this spend gold to be stronger into combat temporarily model. Like, it's okay, you can do it with a minion, right? Buy a Leroy, fine, right? That's a big investment, but I hate the spell that randomly makes a minion 1 HP. It's like, why is that a thing? It's like, oh,
Because
I
it's
have
extra
like
scam to beat.
I have like 80-ish% to win, and he hit my bid guy. Oh, okay, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Right, he hit the 1 in 7, and it's over.
Yeah, this
I don't
isn't
know
as
why that's-
egregious, and that one cost 3 gold. But yeah, I hear
Well,
you.
the thing is, the old Beatles was better than randomly making
That's
minion 1
true.
health a lot of the
That's
time.
funny enough.
So,
Yeah, and we played a lot
like,
of
a lot of the-
Goldrin. So these were
a
like
lot of-
50-50s.
Yeah, they're very good. But even in just like regular end game comps, the fact that it would kill all your shields, the fact that it would tank venom and all that, it would turn some fights from 100% loss into 100% win. Literally, the difference was like I play Beetle, I have 100% win. I don't have Beetle, I have 100% loss.
Yeah,
Which is
'cause
kind of dumb.
with Beetle, the Bramble and the Leroy and stuff don't do anything. They just run into a Beetle.
Yeah, ridiculous. Okay, so I mean, it's a good change. I guess my larger question is, should these like temporary combat buffs be a thing? I guess I'm a little bit traumatized by a Titus spell, which they thought was like, let's put that in, and it was like, I was just like weeks on end of me just saying like, this is stupid. Like, I'm literally like twice as strong because I rolled this card. This should not be a thing. Yeah.
That's super fair. Yeah, they
All right,
removed
whatever.
it. Though.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the ones they have it now, but I think I don't understand changing it to summoning 1/10/10. Like maybe like 2 5/5s or something, but like
Make it a little stronger. Okay.
or at least change the name to Boon of Beetle instead of Boon of Beetles.
Yeah, that's Reddit for sure.
There's only
Reddit's
one
like,
Beetle.
oh my god. So I can honestly see a patch just for funsies where
Yeah,
the
they
devs
would
go like
do that,
Boon
yeah.
of Beetle now. Yeah. Otherwise, it's literally unplayable. All right, so I guess better than before, but still not super happy with there being just like these combat enhancements.
I'm
That's
okay
fair.
with it. I mean, but whatever. I hear you.
This one is a fantastic change, and I'm surprised that they did it because last buddy meta. So the change is that
Oh, the
ETC
jailer.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, ETC now no longer can pull Jailer Buddy from the hero power. And that was really the standard turn 3, turn 4 play. Pull Jailer Buddy, pull Reno Buddy, make a Golden Jailer Buddy on turn 4,
Yeah.
proceed to deal 11 damage to the next
Constantly
opponent.
Enduros. Yep. Just that constant like. Now, I will say something interesting. They may have buffed ETC. Now,
Yeah, Thorin
Yes.
Buddy.
Okay,
Or-
yeah, you see
Yes.
this.
I haven't
played
seen it,
against
but I saw the nerf. Well, I saw the buff to Thorim, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
actually going to be a thing now.
Yeah, we played against an ETC today that had a golden Thorum Buddy on turn. Was it 4 or 5?
Something like that, yeah. It's not fun.
Yeah, because now you have a reason to rush, right? Because I mean, you could stay on tier 2 and just pop your buddy out for 9 gold or something if it's gonna make your Thorin buddy golden.
Yeah. Plus,
Right
you have like Scabs Buddy is a lot easier to get now. Like it's weird because they made so many buddies higher and like so many buddies lower that it changes your entire pool.
For high level, it makes so no sense at all.
I
Right?
hear
Because
you. I'm with you.
you're making these buddies slower to get, yet the thief gets his
I
thieving
know.
faster.
I was like, why
It's
am I
just like,
ever playing these heroes?
if you are Sylvanas or if you are the Nine Frogs guy, you have like no shot to burst
Holiday
two
is the
thieves.
worst offender of like I can't play
There's
this
just
hero
like
anymore.
no shot. Like the Tess and the Scabs always win. It's like Ticketus, right? It's like there's Ticketus in the lobby now.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll finish this and then we'll go over to buddies and we'll get to those points. So you can no longer kill minions in the shop with Brucon, which I guess is
I didn't know
fine.
you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw clips where people like, hey, this doesn't do anything, but I can shoot shit in the shop. And they were doing that. And then now there's, I guess it's very big for you guys. I don't know if you guys looked at the list and have any strong takes on it, but they have disabled certain duo pairings. And then the one they mention is Shudderwock and Zephyrus, obviously being able to trigger the Zephyrus with your hero power.
Yeah, I've seen the list personally. Overall,
So
I mean,
any comments on that at all?
nothing nothing for me and Sapphire really that we really abuse. There's some cool stuff, but it's mostly just Zephy synergies, Storm. Like I can say the ones they had. They had Zephy plus Phelan, Shudderwock plus Crag, Phelan, Shudderwock plus Crag, Phelan, Zephy, Nameless One, Finley, Guff, Togwaggle, and then you have Flute plus Phelan or Thorum, and then you have Thorum plus Voon. So those are some strong combos, but not the combos we in particularly play. But it's just like combos abusing like you get a copy of a buddy or something you get immediately. So
yeah, I suppose Voon now being able to copy even more, getting a 7-drop to copy would be too much.
Yeah, but like there's still other things.
So
like there's
many
like
broken
Gran
combos.
Reno where you get a golden
Reno
Gran on turn
changes.
3 or 4.
Yeah, I'm with you.
There's like Voon and AFK in an elemental lobby is just like double Azurite if AFK hits the Azurite turn 3.
Floop's stats must be really bad
Oh.
because Floop is the biggest offender to me. Like in terms of abuse in good players' hands, like Floop just seems so broken and they didn't touch it at all.
Anything that's complex and has a high chance of you dying if you don't do it right, that's almost always gonna like sort of bypass the nerfs because the stats are gonna make it seem like it's bad.
What is complex about Floop? You just get golden 6-drops. Or if you're playing
Oh,
Azurite, the person playing the
that
Azurite
yet,
only plays Azurite as their 3-drop.
For me, I'm talking like Scabs and Murlocombs, right? Those two are the ones I understand. But so for you guys, there's nothing. You basically have no idea why Floop wasn't nerfed.
No clue.
So I don't play duos right now, right? So run me through what Floop does that makes it stupid.
It's a tier 5 buddy that gives you a copy of your opponent's highest tier minion.
No, your teammate's highest
tier
minion.
Your teammate's highest tier minion. So you will always get a minion that you own, right? So no matter what, 2 turns later you're getting a golden minion, right? So no matter what, you have the buddy. Okay, you have a golden minion. That's an easy 5 or a 6. It's mostly a 6, right? So then you get the 6. Boom. That means your Floop now has the 6 too because he can hero power. And 2 turns later, you've got a golden version of that. And that keeps going 2 turns after that, or 3 turns. But 2 turns after that, you probably hero powered, right? So now you're getting 2 of them.
The way it works is you pass whatever you take back to your teammate.
Yeah, back to your teammate. Yeah.
You just funnel. He triples.
Or like for example, we played Floop like 2 games ago with and we got Ghoulacabra like turn 6 or 7.
Right.
So I used all my gold to get the buddy to make another Ghoulacabra.
Yeah.
Sent him the golden Ghoulacabra.
Yeah.
And then I'm hero powering. Floop's hero power gives you it turns a minion on your board, whichever one you target, into their highest tier minion. Yeah. So I have a golden ghoul on my board while he has it. Yeah. Then I get another ghoul because I get one every turn from the buddy because he's only playing that as a 6-drop. He's not playing other 6-drops. So it's always going to be
I did mess up once and I played a gas card. Let's
So then I play it on my board and scale it. Then I get another one, play it on my board. Now I'm playing 2 ghouls plus his golden ghoul from my hero power. I'm scaling the 2 regular ones. So then whenever it triples the turn after, I'm sending him like an 80/80 golden ghoul. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a must pick every time.
I always take
Floop
it.
is
Yeah.
Floop is
Okay.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you could do like we did the same thing with Azurite, where we had 5 golden Azurites on like turn 11.
It's so stupid. The Azurite stuff, I don't like it, but I mean, I like it because we win, but I don't. Like, it feels wrong. Like, oh,
Okay.
you got a
Well,
3-drop,
thanks
you
for that
win.
insight.
You know,
That's,
like,
yeah, for me, I'm just like Floop. I'm completely unaware that this is an issue. Which is funny because Murloc apparently is the same for you guys.
yeah,
So
we never see it.
he's
Yeah.
not in duos. Yeah. Okay. So now we're back to the start here. Now that we've covered the cards that are leaving and the cards that have been reintroduced. Alex is now discover for 1 gold instead of get it for free. And I guess we may as well have a look at her buddy as well. Buddy's now a tier 5. So is this something you see in duos at all, or?
We played it when it was the old version for sure. Like, it's good tempo.
Yeah.
Like,
We didn't see it today.
Yeah, we didn't see it today though.
Yeah, I didn't see it today either.
But the
So
old version was good. Yeah.
my take on this was this is probably still very good for sort of like,
Low.
let's say
lower,
6K
Yeah.
up to 6K. Just like giving you a game plan, just being like, hey, your mid-range dragons and your chance to hit it is really high, and you're getting some tempo from this guy, and it's a 5-drop. It's kind of slower, but once you get it, you're still getting 3/3 with your Amber, your Poet.
The other issue is that losing Draconic actually hurts. Like, quite important, because you lose the +3/+3 buff every turn that you were getting before, because you would get this and then you get Draconic and then boom, you know, +4/+4 every turn. You do nothing.
Right. Get some tempo from that.
So,
That's fair. That's fair.
Alex Strauss
I
is
did not
basically
play
a
Alex.
worse Ashara, or Queen Ashara, right? That's her name.
Yeah, but
it's
it doesn't
worse
matter,
issue.
right? She's insane. So
That's true. True.
that's like, yeah. I don't mind being like a slightly worse ETC either. It's like, okay, whatever. Okay, so yeah, I think that's most of the time with these type heroes where, and the biggest example that Collins and I always saw, right, was Maleficent when he went to like bottom 50% or just like barely top 50% was always like solid hero. Just like because it pushed people into mech and it gave them a game plan and they just did it, and then like, hey, I have a slight bias towards something and I get a slight increase, even as something as silly as I get +2 damage on my
It's always like Jiraxis was a good hero, you know, for the longest time. I'm just like, no, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, it's good stat wise, low elo, so yeah, crazy though.
Okay. So I think this is like very, very solid, right? When like up to 6K, and then I think it's like playable at higher MMR if you really, really had to. But the problem is you're not able to abuse or not even abuse. You're not able to just be flexible, right? You're kind of just dragons when you pick this.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard. Okay. Then this is like, I welcome it, but I don't know if it was necessary.
I didn't play Onyxia, but it was an annoying hero, so get it out on my board.
Exactly, right?
I will say, however, that by nerfing some of these like tempo-y heroes, people are playing more like greedy heroes, and now people are doing like stupid stuff that they can actually beat me. Onyxia, you're annoying, but you can't beat me like late game. But now people are actually playing like the greedy stuff, and then it's like, oh, they're actually getting like huge boards. So I say I welcome it, but when I think about it, no, I'd rather you be Onyxia. So maybe we revert the nerf. That's my high tier.
So we have this thing. It's the turn 4 timer. Yeah. And every single game
I don't subscribe to this.
Every single game we take 10 to 15 damage turn 4.
This is fake news.
And it's because 10 to 15 damage turn 4 in duos.
By turn 4 or on turn 4?
On turn 4.
The turn 4 combat.
Okay.
Like specifically the turn 4 combat. Because we always on 6 gold we always level either, level by a 1-cost spell or whatever. Like we go to 3. Nobody else in duos levels. Like, nobody levels. Like, I'm usually Tavern 5 or Tavern 6, and the rest of the lobby's still 3. Maybe there's, like, one or possibly...
There's usually, like, people that, like, have 1 level, or, It's just that we double level a lot.
Yeah, well, that's true, but we also go 3-on-3, and nobody else ever does.
We go 3-on-3, we die. We don't go 3-on-3 too often.
The point is, it's the meta, at least in duos, I don't know about solos, but it's so tempo-heavy that it's, like... As long as we're alive on turn 10, we're almost always winning the game. Because we're 2 taverns above everybody else.
Right. No, I mean, obviously for solos, it's very... Because I think the way it works is you guys are even more mismatched, right? Probably with a smaller pool, and you guys both being so high MMR, I think it's unlikely that you're going to be in a somewhat balanced lobby
it's
MMR
not
wise.
6 people with the same MMR. That's true.
Right. Okay. So I think that you're naturally going to have a bigger difference in playstyle just because you're going to have people that are less experienced at the game. So for me, when I'm playing, a lot of my lobbies are decently balanced. I think yesterday I had like 90 for a first. It was like, holy crap, it's like 13K. So I'm getting some decent lobbies. But yeah, of course it happens where people are just doing random stuff. But for the most part, it's all about getting your buddy out early. It's not so much giga power leveling. I think that the going to tier 5 on 9 gold, right, in solos, that's sort of the gold standard of if you're doing really well, you get to push to tier 5, 9 gold, turn 7. That happens a lot less for me now because you used to do that pre-buddies because you needed a game plan, like you needed Brand, you needed to pop off with Wraith and play elementals, and half the time now, or more than half the time, your buddy provides you with enough value that you don't have to do that.
Yeah, but the reason you want to level in duos, like the reason you want to get to 3 so fast is because, I mean, I say it's because Azerite, because like that's what I want to play. But like even when elementals are out, it costs 2 extra to go from 3 to 4, and 2 extra to go from 4 to 5. So the quicker you get there, the quicker you start getting the reduction on those taverns.
Yeah, for me, the important thing is that one person can level and the other person just gives them the golden minion. Like, so it's not like, oh, I need to level and then buy a 3 cost card and then go. So it's like, oh, I'm leveling straight into a 6. Oh, and now I can do things. Maybe I get 2 6s this turn. Like it's very easy to level and then do things because let's say like you need 4 gold to get a guaranteed triple or something like that. Like your teammate could be like, yeah, I can do that. Let me roll. Here's a scout. Here's a gambler. All right, you're done, right? So whereas you can't do that. You can't like, can you loan me 5 gold this turn? Like you can't do that in solo. So.
Like I have the best deal ever for you, Bob. Like look at the return on this investment, right?
Yeah.
When I win this lobby, I'm giving you some of the MMR.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like Ysera's buddy is so bad, or sorry, not Ysera.
It is
Onyxia's
horrible.
buddy
You're right.
is so bad already. Like you're nerfing the scaling on a terrible buddy.
Right,
by
that's
changing
fair.
it from 3 to 4.
Yeah, I was like totally caught up in this tempo argument we were having, but yeah, this is like for high level play.
He's
like,
bringing you back into the.
Just no, great. This is an experienced podcaster. Back on topic here. I'm glad one of us did that. Okay, cool. So the conclusion, I guess, is that this makes no real sense when we look at it for our games.
I mean, it does nerf like the avenge scaling things. Like that was pretty annoying. And the next year early game tempo was like super silly. Like always able to win if you get the right start. So.
But now she has nothing going for her.
Yeah, now she has nothing going for her. That's true. I agree with that.
That's like bad. Like, why would I ever pick Onyxia? Right?
I wasn't picking Onyxia before, so that
exactly.
I see this and I'm just like, okay,
all right. So this goes to a 6 straight from a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it being a 5 would already counteract eyes, but I'm guessing the win rate was so high because they don't do this super often, the 2-tier jump, either buff or nerf. So this is really like, okay, the win rate is...
This was the best hero in the game, statistically. So, makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So have you guys played it at 6? And
no.
Like, can you pull it off?
I haven't rolled it, to be fair. So
we played against 1, I think, today.
Yeah, I think that's true. And it was manageable. No, you scammed the hell out of him. You're right. Yeah, you did the stealth bramble into the... Oh, you hit the core thing. It was actually quite good. We were going to lose until Saf carried that fight.
Right.
But they could make this a tier 8, buddy, for all I care. Like, get rid of this hero. It's way too strong. Maybe it's not as bad on 6, but it's...
I mean, yeah, the hero itself is good. Like, even without the buddy.
Like, you can basically force Zesty Kerner with this hero.
Yeah.
Right, Joe. So just like Shell Elemental, and it would still be decent.
Yeah, Shell Elemental with Zesty Kerner is just very strong.
Yeah, and you don't even necessarily need it. You can still run like Lava Lurker, and it's like you're putting the minions, like the stats on one minion, which isn't ideal, but like you're still getting it on the buddy too.
Right. I was just saying, if you're saying I don't even need the buddy, right? Then you're sort of just thinking you'd go crooner.
I mean,
go-
you'll get the buddy at some point. To be fair, like it's not like you're not playing.
Yeah,
the buddy.
yeah. You will. I was just thinking so this to me seemed like it's not like Snake Eyes. I think Snake Eyes now you kind of just you don't get any or you don't
It's a
really get
lot
tempo
harder. Yeah,
from
it's
the
a lot
buddy,
harder.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
my idea
I
is you would just die.
assume this hero is more of a problem in duos because you can pair it with something like ETC and then you just have 3 golden
Yeah,
Ashara buddies.
that was so stupid. Yeah, 3 golden Ashara buddies is like what we were
Oh,
seeing. Yeah, it's just like, come on.
Yeah, hero was just eyes, right? So you could technically get that,
Right.
but you're one player trying to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you're spending 18 gold on the
On the
3.
eyes,
you
yeah.
do
So
it.
your thought is that this is still really strong.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I would pick it still. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely try it for sure. See what happens. Okay.
Because when would you normally get a tier 6 buddy? Like turn 7 or 8?
God, that really depends, right? If you played any pen pal or that.
Right. Somewhere in the 6 to 9 range for sure.
Yeah.
So generally by then that's around the time that maybe you've had 1 turn on 4, so you've had 2 shots at Zesty at that point.
It's just about how I actually never got to play this, right? I just didn't roll it a single time. Yeah. So I don't.
That's why you're like, I don't know if I try it. You play it once, you're like, yeah, I'll still try it. Tier 6, who cares? Whatever.
No, I mean, I saw it. I played against it. I did beat a lot of them, right? Because they were highly scammable.
And they were
highly scammable, right? These guys, like big Imperial Defender.
That is true.
Andrews,
they are highly scammable. Like that is the issue with this. In
like,
duos, though, you get away with it, right? Because you have to be in the right matchup. So for us in duos, if we see a Queen Ashara old one, not this one, maybe it'll be this, but see a Queen Ashara. Okay, who's head up against Queen Ashara?
So.
You have to play Scab. Like you're playing Scab from the beginning. Like turn 1, there's a Queen Ashara. It's top 2. No, legit. No, I'm not joking. Like that is the game.
He's not joking. We've had this conversation.
No. I'm not ridiculing it. I just think it's funny.
It's like your board is irrelevant. You are playing scam units. It doesn't matter what you put on them. You're not getting any good units. They all go to me.
I was fighting it the first couple of times, and you see the end game boards. You're like, yeah.
You got a full board with 10,000. It's okay.
Fine.
I was just asking, where does the Leroy go?
I did ask that. I was like, what is a good scam board?
Okay.
It's like, what do you scam board? Like, what do I play?
That's the idea. All right. Then this one is
bad.
Wow.
Yeah, a little sad.
So Hogger went from spawning a pirate from every time he bought a pirate to now spawning a pirate after you buy 2. So effectively killing the buy pirate, sell pirate, buy pirate, sell pirate kind of turn. Now it's buy pirate, roll, buy pirate, hopefully buy pirate, maybe buy pirate, maybe roll again. And so this must have been dominating. So what was your experience with
Never
this?
played Hogger.
We played against it quite a bit though, and they always died very early.
There was one that did well. I do remember one being strong. So
and he lost it.
Maybe they lost at the end, but they were strong. Like that one guy. But overall, like not impressed.
In solos, you had a cheese strategy you could do where you stayed on tier 3 and you would just get shipwrights and couriers.
Yep, that's what he did.
Buff. That's
what 2 golden couriers, a golden shipwright.
That doesn't scream duos to me, right? It's like a little.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you have to sometimes.
He was strong in the mid game, but then by like turn 12 or whatever, when we were heads up, he had like I don't know, 110-ish attack on everything, and they didn't do anything.
Right. Yeah, usually this was good for a top 4. Like if you did that strategy, and then I think in the sort of mid-level MMR, like again putting a number on it, I think 6K and below. This is probably just insane because it does what we talked about the other type heroes, where it pushes you in a type. You know exactly what you're doing. There's a lot of clarity, and you're getting such a huge bonus for playing that type. Where if you can make it to 6 and cycle, it's a matter of time before you're infinite, because you're gonna get Tethas in the shop, and once you get Tethas in the shop, that's where everything changes, where you just start really popping off, and then you can get
you can't get Tethys on 3 though, right? Can you?
No. But this is like
okay.
for most. So for like let's say 6 game below, you're not under enough pressure that you'd have to cheese, right? You could just
Right.
kind of
Okay.
level. You're like you're not
true.
gonna die, right? Like I can go just you can't just in solo queue. You can't just be like I'll just go to 5 on Augur and I'll be good, right? This guy with his 9 frogs isn't gonna 15 me, right? It's like
That's what
okay,
I
well,
think in duos and Saf. Well, Saf. That's what Saf thinks in duos. I have to be like
and then he
I
takes
need.
15 with a Pikachu face, right?
I have
They
to go
didn't have-
tempo when he starts doing that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so regardless of, what might have been, this seems just horrible now, right?
Yeah, I wasn't playing it before, and I'm definitely not playing it now. So
All right. Well, big nerd. Well, then again, a low to mid-level MMR, who knows? Maybe.
yeah, and I wasn't.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not there. So
All right. Then Yog Buddy is now
no,
tier 5.
my Yog buddy, tier
This
5.
seems
It
fair,
hurts.
right?
Yeah,
I think this is fair.
I know it's fair, but
You get this like same speed as 9 frogs before.
Yeah, that's fair. I know. I like Yog. It's hard to
Yeah.
play in duos, Saf's always like, there's a better hero. And I'm like, no, there's not. And then he's like, yes, there is. And I look at it
Right,
and I'm
that's-
like, you're right. And then I have to pick the other one.
So you guys didn't really play this in duos.
No, I played it. We played it. I played some Yog Shady. Didn't matter. I just forced it. It's good. And stealing it from your team, from your opponents, is very good. Like, hey, hello, Scabs stocks rising. Like it's just very strong. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just a strong
this
buddy. You can
seems-
keep it on your board forever. I think.
It seems one of the nerfs where you're just like, okay, I'll still play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sour Fang. So in solos for the most part, not really a thing.
Mm.
Mostly ETC for me when I
Mm,
made this, and
right.
then you do some stupid shit in combination with other buddies that are buffing the shop or whatever. Duos? Any like spicy things you guys were doing with this?
Azurite.
Azurite. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yep. Say no more. Next slide. All right. Okay. Lich goes from a tier 3 to a tier 4. Yeah. So probably a little bit too clean to get it out on the what is that? 6 gold turn, right? Probably a
Yeah.
tier 3. You pretty much always get on 6 gold and you just have enough money to hero power something.
Yeah. Before last time buddies were out, you couldn't hero power spells, and now you can. So Lich is just
Yeah.
stronger, and I just think the nerf makes
I
counts for that.
don't think she's stronger, right? Because you have to put it into relationships to what the power level was like, right? I think Lich in the previous Betty Mona could actually just like play 7 pink men, right? Like 2 golden
Right.
pink
Yeah,
guys.
that's true. That's true.
Like that was actually a comp, and it was super solid. So I think relative to the power level, she's actually weaker now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I understand she can
That's
hero
so
power
true.
spells.
Yeah. I played her
Yeah.
today. It was fine. Like
Yeah.
I went demons. Unfortunately, I had a Trichondrius. Like I was so sad. We won though, but yeah, it wasn't because of me.
Oh, you? Okay, we won.
Yeah, we won. Yes, so I was just like, I won.
This seems like a card where you're just like okay to pick it. Like I don't think you'd be like,
No,
oh my god, took 15 against the Lich again. This is so stupid.
no, it's not.
If it's like, to me, it's like Zyrello, where it's like if your heroes are bad, it's like, okay.
Yeah. You don't look at this and say, oh, now I do the Unearth Earthling strategy where I do this and then I win. Yeah, okay. It's not like Crag where you're like, oh, I can easily go infinite. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, then this one to me is super scary. So the reason why it's scary is so my Ev went from a tier 2 to a tier 3 buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tier 3 buddy is still incredibly accessible.
Yeah.
The big difference here for me is that last time when I made this buddy, my Ev's hero power took 1 turn longer.
Yeah, I agree. I
fire.
100% agree. This should have been like
So
a
you-
2 jump or more.
Yeah, you can't just. I think for the buddy meta, they should have made her 2 turns again, because to me it feels so dumb that so I rolled a brand,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna hero power it,
Yeah.
and then
next turn.
I legally have a golden brand next turn. Like this is legal. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this now, and I'll have a golden brand next turn. Okay, I'll win the game. Okay.
And it's so dumb because I had a brand. I got the 2 copies. I played one. I hero power it, and then it gives me a golden card. I'm not even registering that it's that turn it's mine. Like I can just immediately play it. Like, and I'm just like 30 seconds left. I'm like, why is there a golden card in my hand? And I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, I just got it for free because I have a brand and then I played it. It's like so dumb, yeah, for sure. So
it's ridiculous.
So I think they should have left Myv at 2 because at 3 she feels pretty unplayable. But they should have just gotten rid of the "and awaken 1 turn faster" text on the buddy.
Wait, you think this is unplayable?
I think Myv at 3 as a hero, like 3 turns for her hero power, was very bad.
Well, the buddy went from tier 2 to tier 3.
Yeah, that's what.
So
that's
you're
what
saying. At 3 was a little, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So like, I think Myv taking 2 turns to awaken is totally fine. I just don't think the buddy should awaken at 1 turn faster.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You,
I think that's
removed
fair.
that text.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That text.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no, that seems like something that is necessary. And honestly, once you do that, it no longer really breaks the game if you can trigger battle.
No, it stopped. It becomes okay. So I think that's a good suggestion.
I like it. Ship that one.
Yeah.
I'll contact my people. We'll have that in the game. No, that seems super necessary because even with Draconic out, if you can have this next to a Rylak, it's still like, well, I guess I'll just get a golden again.
Every single turn, yeah.
If you have a reborn Rylak, it's insta golden, right? Because it pops once, twice, and it's like, okay, so now it's like target a minion, I get it for 1 gold, which is effectively free. No, you make a gold because the triple, you could sell it. Yeah. And it's golden, like straight away. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, general consensus, Myv's still busted. At least for me, for solos, for sure.
This doesn't really change anything for her.
All right. Yeah, it's Draconic, really. That's the big one, but still super good. Okay, then Frogs at 6. We had a little bit of a talk about this. What's your take?
I can't pick it because people will steal it from me. Like, so I can't in good faith be like, oh, this is something I'm doing. Like,
to me, this is a little like Sylvanas last meta. I think Sylvanas right now you can justify it because Grave Robber is dumb.
Yeah.
But last meta I was like, I'm not picking Sylvanas. Like people left 3 of my buddies before I even have my regular copy. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So many games I'm like giving Sapphire a golden 9 frogs. He's just like, yep, okay, thank you.
Yeah. I can only pick this hero if Collins has Scabs offered to him.
Yeah.
Right, so you know it's out.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
there's a Scabs in almost every lobby.
So Tess is not that popular? Or?
Not as much.
Less so than Scabs. It's still played for sure. But the thing with Tess's is that hers is a turn after, correct? Like it's not the person you're facing; it's the person you faced the turn before.
Yeah. So the reason why I actually prefer Tess when it comes to that is like in the early game, you can kind of know whether it's worth a sacrifice.
In duos, in duos you can predict your teammates completely, right? Because it's 3 teams and you're fighting them in a row, so you always know what team you're gonna fight. So you can predict it very easily with.
Okay, once you face the first 2 teams on the first 2 turns, you know the exact turn order.
The order of the rest of the match.
Okay, that changes things, of course. So it's like Tess, but with the upside of being Scabs.
Okay. Being
also, Tess as a hero is worse because whenever you hero power, you're taking 7 out of 14 minions as opposed to the entire board.
Yeah, it's not.
See, the cool thing with Tess is that you can steal ETC, hero power, have a buddy in the shop, make the buddy in the shop golden, then buy it and triple. It's
right.
So there's definitely some solo advantages to Tess, and not to mention you have like 19 armor or 18 armor. Or some. Yeah. Anyways, like Tess and Scabs for me are like giga high win rate.
It's they are. They're strong.
Stupid good. Okay, but then you guys, would you still pick this?
We weren't picking it that much. It's mostly our opponents, and we just steal it from them. Right. So we see this a lot, but it's not.
Yeah, we love playing with the buddy. We just don't like playing the hero.
I was playing with this a lot myself, right? Because it's less of a concern in solos. But now that it's a tier 6, I think it's absolutely. I think I'll try it like 1 time, and if it's like a horrible experience, I'm gonna stop.
Sure.
All right. But go for that good old sample size of 1.
I never saw this hero. This black thorn.
This to me again feels like mid-level players were dominating, and now they were buffing
The
or maybe it's just
quote
preemptively like we're gonna
Yeah.
make Jazera 2. Let's not,
Yeah,
give people an
I
easy
can
win.
kind of see it, like, but before I read the Quillboard buffs, I was like, what is it? What is this?
What the hell?
What, tier 6 for
What the
this? Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. So the funny thing was, so I made a tier list for buddies, right? For the like right after the expansion came out to guide people in picking their heroes. And one of the comments was like, I think I had Blackthorn in like lowest tier or D tier.
Sure.
And like one of the comments is like, I can't believe you have the Quillbore guy this low is like insane. Like, or I think the comment was like, you're definitely wrong on the Quillbore guy, or something like that along those lines.
That makes
And
sense.
like,
It makes sense. I can see
I
why.
can roughly guess your MMR off that comment, right? Which is not an insult. It's just entirely like, hey, that's true. I should actually put a caveat on there, like this does not apply, right, at certain levels of play, because you get such. I mean, it's almost like I'm on repeat, right? But again, it's a type hero, and it gives you a game plan, and all you got to do is buy a few jazzers, get a few pipers, and just press your hero power, fill your hand with gems, and you're gonna be good.
I want to suggest something, but I feel like I'd make it too broken, so maybe I won't suggest it because I've done that. I've done that before.
The Chimera adventure is still too fresh in my mind. Yeah.
That's fair.
We're still scarred.
I will be
I'm
quiet
good now.
this time.
Ah, excellent. All right, good. Okay. So before I say anything, what comes to mind when you guys see this?
Boxcar.
Yeah.
Boxcar into
Boxcars,
eyes into
okay.
golden boxcar easy win the game.
It's tier 6 now, right?
Yeah, I know, but that's before like.
Right. Yeah, I have a short.
Yeah.
And my short actually is up now where I do exactly that.
Yeah.
It's so funny. My first time playing Snake Eyes on the patch, I actually turn 4, pay 11 gold for the shit because I hero power.
Yeah.
And then turn 5, it's golden.
Yeah, it's also ridiculous that you can get like tier 5 and 6 spells if you're on tier 4.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just very, very
But this being a tier 6 now, like so just like all the previous stuff, forget about that. Would you still pick this?
Yeah, we played it today.
We played it today, yeah. It wasn't as
So
good,
when did
though.
you how did it feel? When did you get it?
I don't remember. No, Saf was playing it.
I got it turn 6 or 7. It was the turn that I was able to roll my hero power again.
Okay. And how much did you roll on your dice? Do you remember that?
Yeah, so my first, I'm pretty sure, was this today or yesterday? I'm pretty sure it was today.
It was today.
It was one of the first games we played. My first die was a 5, and I think I sent you the golden a minion for your Azurite on like turn 6.
Oh, is that what you did?
I'm pretty sure that was.
Oh.
It was one of the first games we played today.
I don't remember this, but I trust.
So on the 8 gold turn, you popped your hero power, you rolled high enough, and you were able to get this.
It was either the 8 gold turn or the 9 gold turn.
Right. 9 gold's probably more realistic, right? Because tier 6 is expensive.
Yeah.
I think that game I had played at least one pinball as well. But yeah, it was fine, but it wasn't like
it's
amazing.
It's funny. I remember he played the pen pal in this game particularly. Like that I remember. Why do I remember that?
Yeah, you just have these recordings in your head, right? You don't always decide what's in there. All right. Yeah, my instinct was as a 5 armor. So again, this is like pure solo.
He has 2 armor in Duos. It's so
right. So I was thinking but I mean, as solos you only have 1 health pool, right? So with 35 HP, I'm going to take a hero that won't have a return from the buddy for a long time. I was a little scared with this. Maybe I'll try it one time.
I do think it's worse. Like I'm not. My opinion of it with playing it is like it lost a tier for sure. So whatever tier it was, like it's maybe a tier and a half below. So
yeah, 4 to 6 seems harsh.
Yeah, it is harsh.
Yeah, I was really expecting going to 5 first.
Yeah.
But I will say your hero power is so good as Snake Eyes that you kind of make up the tempo. Like you win almost every fight early as Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
With the exception of maybe if you were like a 3 or a 4 or something and you end up leveling turn 1 and buying like the spell or whatever. Like you
Yeah.
lose that fight obviously. But like
Yeah.
past that, you should win like the next 3 or 4 fights. So while it's a lot more expensive than a lot of other buddies, you do get the extra,
Economy
Discount
from
free.
winning,
3-ish reduction from the turns 2 through like 4 or whatever. Like almost guaranteed.
All right, I'll give it a go. Then Shen goes from a 3 to a 4.
I'm sad about this because I played this hero, but it's fine. Yeah, this is like this is like
to
a
roll Azurite, right? Or-
Absolutely.
no.
Okay.
I was
So you sit on tier 3 like a degenerate, and you just roll for Azurite.
No, that's not me. I'm playing Rock with this, but Sapphire wants me to play Azure. I'm just like, no, I'm good.
I mean, that seems like the right play in duos. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and it's hard to convince me sometimes. Yeah, I'm very stubborn
Okay.
sometimes.
It took about 150 to 200 games to convince him to play Scam against Ashara. I'm still working on the Azure thing.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't have strong feelings on this. I did not really play Chen. I did not see much Chen. But again, it's a type hero, so you see those do really well.
Yeah.
Same explanation. Rakanishu going to a tier 5. To me, this feels like fair.
Makes
for
sense.
solo.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Did anybody with Shinvala, did anybody see people like this? I don't know why this popped in my head, but like, did anybody like see people staying on 2 and just playing Party Elemental and Rock? Because like you could basically get if you stay on 2, right, and you're
like
pretty
the old
much you're pretty much either getting Rock or Party Elemental, Molten Rock, Celemental, or the free roll Elemental every single shop, right?
and yeah, that sounds pretty decent.
My intuition that is in buddy meta is that your party rock just gets absolutely obliterated by a real blade. Because I just don't think. But I don't know exactly what this output is, right? Because you do have some really, really like the party rock is buffed since last time, right?
Yeah,
you're getting the party is 2-1.
There's just a thought.
It's kind of like playing the Hoggers thing, right? You like the Hoggers stay on 3, kind of like that.
Sure, but that was. I feel like that scales faster because you don't have to roll. You're just buying, and you're getting damage on your guys by spending gold.
I mean, you're rolling. You're sometimes rolling for free with Rock, and you're buying 3
not
for
Rock
2.
Party Rock, right?
Yeah, whatever thing.
Yeah, but I mean, Rock's an actual
right.
elemental.
Right, that's true.
Because I'm rolling a lot for free when I play Rock because I have a golden wraith. I'm actually never paying for my rolls at all.
That's fair.
Okay, no, we can. Well, maybe not anymore.
I'm not
right?
trying it. Yeah, but
as a tier 4, no. I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it being moved up because as a tier 4, you can't really do that.
Right. I think it was just pushing people into elementals, and that was overperforming.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's such a thing, right? We see it with the Chen. Then obviously Ajara was busted, right? But still a type hero. We saw it with Alex Straza. We saw it with this guy.
Everything. All the types are getting nerfed.
All the types are
except for the ones that are horrible, like the one that does the death rattle plus 2 damage that used to be 4 and they nerfed it to 2. It's so bad now. We see some people play it and it's just like, damn, I'm so sad for you that you have to do this.
Wait.
The mech one, the mech rock. The mech guy, the mech girl.
The bomb squirrel
bomb, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have not seen that buddy at all.
Yeah, it was so sad to see them play this, and then they try to boom us. They can't kill a single minion.
There's no Kangor anymore, so like.
That's a good showcase also of power creep, where the numbers on my guys are higher than they used to be. So you dealing like 4 static damage is like does nothing. Right?
Except it's 2 static
damage. Yeah, it's 2.
They moved it from 4 damage to 2 damage per mech that died.
Wait,
and they removed Kangor.
The golden one deals 2 now, or
no? I mean, if they don't get to the golden ones,
they're dead. They're dead long before they can spend that much gold on a buddy.
Okay. So there's a comment in chat which I guess is interesting. So they say that the frog on 6 doesn't change much for the first activation because you usually want to save it for tier 5s. So I'll go first. For me, that doesn't really apply because I'm under so much pressure in solo queue that I can't be like, oh, I'll just like do nothing just
till
wait.
turn 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like hold all my value very neatly level to 5, then click my buddy, then only buy 5 drops. Like that's not how the game works. Like you gotta buy a 4, you gotta buy some stuff, get a little bit of tempo, get a little bit of value to help you level to 5. Because I mean, you need to have a really, really good game to be able to play 9 frogs and only activate it on 5 and only buy 5 drops.
We don't have the time to even use 9 to buy 9 minions before we have the second activation. So you just gotta go sometimes.
Wait, where's the second activation coming from? It's just stealing from people.
Yeah, usually we're just like you have
Wait,
4
how
left,
do you
dude.
not have time? You gotta buy 9 minions, and you said
I'm
you
giving
have
it to
3
Seth,
turns.
and I'm like, dude, I have 2, and he's like, nah, I mean, I have 4 left, dude. You gotta wait. Come on. What do you mean? What do you mean? I have the golden one. Nah, you gotta wait. I gotta buy 4 more cards.
If you have 2, just send 1, right? And then he can
Like he has 2 on the board, you know. Like
I have 2 on the board, and he has 1.
I have the
He
golden
scabs.
number 3. Right.
He scabs. He's stealing 2 every time that we like every 3 turns. So like
Right. Okay, that's fair. Okay. So Rakanishu, like I said just now, I think this one is fair. But I don't know if you saw it at all in duos or if it did anything there.
Azurite.
I have been trying to get Collins to
Yeah.
play this. I never get it offered. Collins gets it offered like every other game. I've been trying to get him to play it every elemental lobby, and he just refuses.
Yeah, I don't play it, but I understand.
Solid. It's good.
It's good. Yeah. I just don't play it.
But
It's
not-
5 spells a
just-
turn.
Not just for Degen Azurite stuff, right? Like just for
Wow.
Reaper and like you're on tier 6, you have Drakari, you're getting 8
Oh,
lanterns.
Drakari. That's
Yeah.
true. Okay,
You
you
get 8
kind of
lanterns.
sold me with the Drakari talk.
Yeah, and like Nala, right?
Nala.
Like
Nala, of course.
Nala,
Yeah.
Greymane, all the lanterns are even.
Great
Like,
man. Okay, you're kind of selling me. All right, let's go.
I appreciate you, Shady. Because we're only gonna play that for Azurite, but I love the false hope.
But like, Sap is like, no, you stay on 3. I'll level for the Drakari. All right. No, for me this was a really solid hero because I feel like you just didn't really bottom 4 because you could just like slam lanterns to like win fights, and then sometimes you find the synergy and you pop off, and sometimes it just buff Deflecto and whatever. Yeah.
I see
So-
it. I see it.
Pretty decent. Okay, cool.
You're selling me. All right.
Right. This feels like it's just protection for eyes. I don't know. Do you guys see much Greybow?
We played it for tempo. It was good in
Decent amount.
Chupacabra. Like, it's like, hey, it's a Chupacabra card or setup.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. It wasn't anything special.
Yeah, it was
Right.
decent.
Yeah. To me, indeed, this feels like a top 4 mechanic where it's maybe a pharynx in the back, play a mech horse. Now,
Honestly,
go
sorry.
ahead.
So every time that I played Greybow, I'm pretty sure the turn that I golden the buddy, I always sold it off my board. Like it never had a place on the board beyond whenever it was finally tripled, so I could get another 6 drop out of it.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I do think that the first one is much better than the golden one, right? Because like the time you get the golden one, like you can't be doing. It's kind of like the tree, right? The tier 5
Tree
tree.
is so good.
100%.
Yeah.
Like
But tree's
you
better.
you triple onto that on turn 6, you're like, that's like 2 to 3 turns of just giga tempo, and then it starts getting one shot, and you're like, all right, tree, your time has come. So it's kind of like this guy where,
Tree's even better this meta, by the way, because there are so many ways like that you can get, like, for example, Reno Buddy can just make the tree golden on turn 6 whenever you triple into it, like without having to like put any extra resources into it.
Right.
I gave I gave Saf the tier 5 Ellie. That
Matriarch.
Matriarch. The game was so free after that. I was like, damn, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
So-
he was Galakron, I was Reno, so we got a tier 4 or a turn 4 golden
how is that
Matriarch
not
without even using my without using my hero.
Yeah,
power. Like,
Galakron
using
Reno
buddy.
should maybe not be valid.
like Reno plus a lot of shit should just be illegal.
Yeah.
Right? Is Reno Thorim illegal?
Probably not. But
I don't think so.
yeah.
That Reno Brand is the worst, honestly. Like a golden brand on turn 3 is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that didn't get
Yeah.
touched either. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that buddies for duos is that's a tough one, man, to balance. Like, good luck. That seems like they just knew that was gonna happen. All right. Elise goes from a 2 to a 3, so slight nerf for solos. Fair. I think it's like really high tempo because you get to just push the button and reset it, and then more shots at just building a
At
golden
least
brand
in
or
duos, when it was on or when it was available, it didn't work. So you'd use it and it wouldn't reduce. It would reduce your first cost and then go back to the regular. Yeah. And
So does it work now or not?
we haven't tried. Well, I haven't tried. I don't know if I think you had it actually today. Seth?
Okay.
You muted? Well, Seth may have had it today, but maybe not. Who knows? But
he's had enough. I mean, we are nerds after all. This is taking quite some time. I understand him. That's reasonable. He's like, I have better shit to do than talk about the video game I play. Okay. Then we got Vol'jin, who went from a tier 5 to a tier 6. So already wasn't able to be targeted by eyes, but now has. So the golden version is double, right? The HP instead of
I didn't know that. I don't play Vune, but I lose to Vune. I mean, no Vol'jin. I lose to Vol'jin, right? Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing.
You don't play Vol'jin? Okay.
No.
Do you know what they do with this? Or?
Yes, they play Shelly Elemental and they double their stats.
Yeah, not Shelly. You can also do Golden Implicator, which doubles
what
the
is
stats.
Implicator?
Implicator is the tier 3 imp that eats. Right? So you just buy out the shop, you leave one guy, you switch your biggest minion onto the shop. And then that biggest minion then gets consumed by the Implicator. But because the Implicator is golden, it not only gains the stats, it doubles that. And now your Implicator is huge. So next turn, now you move your Implicator to the shop, and now that eats. So it's like times 2, times 2, times 2. It's really
well, it's times 4, right? Because you have a golden one as well.
It's times 2.
That sounds even better than because it's easier to get a golden Implicator.
Way easier, right? Yeah. Like golden Implicator, especially in duos. Like that's.
I see it. Okay, Demon Naga's in. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's such an easy way to build an unkillable minion that essentially it's because it's the demon, you can play the cultist at the end as well.
Right, yeah, that's right. And then, Saf, I need some cultists. That's right.
pass me them cultists,
pass me
bro.
them cultists. Sounds good.
Yeah, so really, I can see it. So definitely want to add that to your repertoire. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah, we have a lot of things, right? But I'm always down for more. Like, give me more.
Yeah, add more. I think for buddies, even in solos, you have a huge playbook of like, oh, that's a cute thing I can do. That's a cute thing I can do. But in duos, it must be endless. Where like, these two together.
Duos feel so consistent because you have like 2 good players and with 2 game plans trying to find one thing to do, and then like as long as the one thing is good enough, then you have time to find the second thing, and then you're good to go. So it's like, oh, do you have a good hero? No, I've got one. Okay, I'll be the leader. Yeah, let's play around here. Exactly. Yeah.
Then we have Reno going from a tier 1 to a tier 2. What are your thoughts on that?
Like, deserved. Like, Reno's so broken. This
move on. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. So I think the biggest power, especially in solos for Reno, is that you got to just make a golden 5 or 6 super early. Yeah. Because you just triple this shit so fast. So this is deserved for sure.
Yeah, and like with. Like, at least in Ghoulacabra, it was like Macaw with this, and then this gets golden, and then you golden 2 other things.
Idus and Ghoul in the back, both golden.
Yeah, that's the we did that.
Yeah, for sure. That was a thing. Okay, Sneed going from tier 5 to a tier 6.
Sad.
To me, with the Ghoul nerf, this feels too much. I don't think this was...
So I will say, like, this can actually be a buff. Because...
Yeah, Leroy and...
Yeah, because now you're getting tier 5s from it, so it's actually like, oh, now they're getting like cards that, and usually when you have this, like you have tons of that hero power death trial, so you're getting like, you put this in the bag, you get like 5 of them, you're like, okay, like that's kind of annoying. So even though it's a nerf, like it is a nerf, but like kind of I've definitely seen some fights where getting the 5s are stronger. So
like once you have survived and you made it to the point where you have it on the board, it's a buff. But it's a nerf in that, well, now remember that turn where you would have gotten your buddy? Yeah, you're not getting it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's easy because I think a lot of people will say, oh, this is a buff, no doubt, right? it's easy to call it a buff, but then look at that game where you took 8th because you couldn't afford your buddy.
Well, I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is a nerf, no doubt." So we're the ones being like, "Oh, this could be a buff."
No. I could like most people in chat are gonna be cute and they're gonna be like, it's at least
you have the cute viewers, right? They're like, "Nah, this is
right. My viewers are smart. My viewers are like, that's a Leroy right there. I at least when I did the solo review, that was definitely the sentiment. People were like, "This is a buff. It spawns Leroy's now. It's good." And I agree. When you're alive, it's a buff, right? It's just you don't see the times where you die because you couldn't pay for your buddy. Because it's a big tempo spike, even if it's only pulling 4 drops. That's still a big tempo spike getting that down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say the 5s in overall are like not just Leroy though, but it's like depending upon the tribes that are in, you get like, Poison Murloc, Bramble, the 3/9 Elemental that gives you free spells. Like you can get a lot of value off of the 5.
Right.
A lot more value off the 4s now that things like the 4-drop pirate that gives you the coin when it takes damage, like those types of 4-drops are gone from the game now.
So do you think it's a net buff or no?
More
hard
variance.
to sell. We're not playing it, so
Yeah, more variance is what I would say.
Right,
I don't think it's necessarily a buff. It's just higher variance now.
Yeah, that's fair. Then, surprise, surprise, the type hero gets nerfed from a tier 3 to a tier 4 because
is this even in duos? That's my look.
No.
Yeah.
Probably not. There's probably too many things that break the game with creations being passed or whatever. Or maybe it's just like a code thing that the game just
I've
crashes.
never seen it in duos, so.
All right. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this. This could be a ghoul thing where this was a death rattle that could then make more death rattles and stuff. So
probably, yeah.
I can see this being too strong with ghoul, and then now it's sort of taking a hit because of that. But it might also have just been, hey, this is a type thing. You can now just play undead and you'll do fine. And for high level play, this doesn't feel like I really want to play Future Sight at all.
Hello,
hey, the type hero gets.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? Yeah.
There's such a big pattern, man. It's so funny. Because again, for high Mamar, I don't know. Did you guys see any Enis?
No, zero.
No,
I don't think
we've ever queued into one.
No, let alone pick it yourself. But it's just again, right? But you're talking about a static amount of stats you're getting, right? Every mech, and probably again 6K and below. This is good. Play Deflectos, play some Menaces, farm some more things, play some mechs, get a huge scrubber, and just anything that pushes people to play Deflectobot is probably going to be good MMR. But yeah, for high level play, this is completely irrelevant. Okay, so this one's
weird.
Right. So you guys obviously have a different idea of AFK than I do because it gives Azerite. And if I get Azerite in solo queue, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. We pick it. Do we get Azerite? No, we've never gotten Azerite from this year. We've never. No.
But think of Azerite for us in duos as Crooner for you in solo.
Sure.
I mean, but Crooner in duos is also Crooner in solo, so it's a little unfair.
Yeah, but like Crooner would be the nuts, right, for the 3-drop?
Yeah. It's just like I don't really take AFK in solos because I find that just the ridiculous stuff that you can do with other buddies a lot of the time. Like the sheer. Yeah. Okay, so I guess the thing is, I don't think the AFK game plan wins the lobby, just like Snack Vendor buffing. And she also doesn't get economy from her hero power or buddy. So to me, that's sort of the recipe for a bad hero. Now, again, the majority of the player base, I think this was a really, really good hero just because, hey, you pull some 3s, you start buffing really early, it buffs itself, it's very clean, it's very fast, it's high tempo, it's very safe.
We're not happy getting AFK, if that's what you're insinuating. No, it's not we got AFK.
I just heard all this is the nuts for the AFK because you can get like coffee to Azerite.
It's the nuts for AFK. AFK is not the nuts.
Right.
But they basically took an unplayable buddy and then they just nerfed it again. Like it was already for high MMR, it was already very bad, and now it's like even worse.
again, right? I can take my YouTube sort of as this like polling thing, because one of the comments as well is like, AFK in E tier, you must be fucking insane, right? It's like people be like, AFK is the nuts, let's fucking go.
That's why I got nerfed, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, like buffing itself, I can see this, right? For most MMRs, if you are putting a snack vendor on the board and it buffs itself, it's
Plus
just
1,
like,
2,
okay.
damn, man, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, without
value.
doing anything, right?
Yeah.
It's all just like clean end of turn. Yeah, so I can understand, but at the end for my games, it's like, oh wow, it's now I never pick this. That's cool.
It doesn't change why you pick it, unfortunately. So yeah.
We pick it to fish for Azurite and Crooner. Anything else is just it's 2 gold.
Sometimes it's Deflecto. Sometimes it's the pirate money guy. There
The
are
Pirate
more.
Money guy
Is okay. There, but
there are fine hits, like if you hit a Quartertron on turn 3,
yeah,
like that's
Corotron,
fine.
yeah. Just like it's not like, oh my god though.
Sorry.
But like there are 2 like game winning or game altering hits, and if you don't hit those,
So
then it's just
if it's
don't have
like I'm taking Drekthar or AFK, okay, I'll take AFK because there's a chance. I
Yeah.
get something.
Yeah,
There's some
that's
heroes
what we
that do nothing. Yeah, and this does something.
Like,
if it's 3 bad heroes and AFK, it's like, all right, we'll take the shot on AFK if it's the right tribe lobby. Even if it's not the right tribe lobby, then you can't.
Then
even
there's
take
no
AFK.
chance for Azurite and thing. Okay, that's fair. All right.
Yeah, or Crooner. Yeah, like.
So Mishmash going from tier 3 to tier 4. Did you guys see this at all?
We
Yes.
saw it. I never played it.
We saw it a decent amount actually, but neither one of us have ever played this hero in any of the games we've played.
Yeah. But
I haven't really played it either. I remember in the previous buddy meta, Peggy
it was
Wopsmar
pretty good.
was a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, this was a thing.
I will say we've seen some like 50-50 mishmashes on like turn before the nerf. We saw some like 50-50 mishmashes on like turn 7.
Yeah. It can scale really high if you have some good synergies. Basically, pirates, dragons. Yeah.
But it feels like it just falls off.
It
really
falls
hard.
off super hard. Yeah.
What? Okay, so out of curiosity, I mean, you guys might not even know this, but like, let's say for example, you're running like double crooner, and your crooner is like, I don't know, 10-10 average by the time you get this buddy. So if you put 20-20 on your amalgam, obviously the 20-20 you put on the amalgam is not permanent. Is it permanent on the mishmash?
It should be.
It
should be.
Okay, so that's probably
what happened then. People are doing this with Crooner. That's fair. Spellcrafts with this. I guess spellcrafts were not as common. Like definitely Crooner. Was Crooner a thing when this was happening? I don't think so.
Maybe.
The first time I don't know if it was or not.
No. Okay.
Didn't it used to be a 4-drop as well, Crooner?
Yeah, it used to be.
Yeah,
and that would gut it. So yeah, I agree.
I guess that's something to consider in a Naga lobby. This might cost me some MMR because Saf put this idea in my head.
Yeah. Tell us how it goes.
That's the way. Yeah. All right, Carl. So George's buddy goes from tier 4 to tier 3. Does it change anything?
Buddy is worse than a tree, like a trench. Like I'd rather have a trench than a buddy.
It's a necessary change. The hero is still unplayable. Still wouldn't play it if it was a tier 1 buddy.
Yep, fair. That describes my feelings.
Tier 1 maybe. I don't know.
So you guys have no experience with this guy, right? Because he's not in duos.
No, he's not in duos. Yeah.
So this to me is
seen it. But
yeah. Go ahead.
I've seen people, like I've seen high MMR players play it. I haven't personally played it, so like I know how it works and everything. But
so this to me is the example of this is too hard for most people. So
the Floop standard.
Maybe, but you guys just told me there's nothing hard about the Floop.
Well,
right?
That's us saying stuff. Like, to be fair, like you can't trust us.
People might not be doing that. Can't trust you. Okay, people G can't be trusted.
Yeah. Write that
down. So for me, this is ludicrous, right? So this is for high MMR. This is
it went down.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
what?
So see, the problem is that Watfin was already really, really reliable as a tier 3. Because you could just do this on turn 4 pretty much every time. Because it's a 6-gold turn. Unless you've been getting murdered and you've been missing all your bets, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, even if it costs 7 gold, you'd be like, okay, I'll just coin and play it.
Yeah.
So you pay it 7 for it or 6. Most of the time it's 6. So then you put it down, and then on that turn you bet, and then you usually win because you know what they have, and you get an extra unit. So you still have 2 units
For
on the
6
6
gold.
turn.
Yeah, it makes tons of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you either go to 5 and then click this, and I pay like 10 for this to golden it routinely, because then you start stealing 2 copies, right? And you like pull a 6 drop from the triple. So now that it's tier 2, I don't think you're going to get it earlier than turn 4 or want it earlier than turn 4. I think
But
it's
this, the
fine on turn
golden
4.
one is going to be earlier.
The golden one's so much faster, right? Like now I'm not going to have to pay like 11 gold for this. It's going to be more like 9 gold, 7 gold.
Yeah.
So
Very
yeah, that to me
reasonable.
seems super sketch, where you're going to be able to have a golden Watfin super early and
And it's
just
a type.
farm.
It's a type. You can scale it. It's crazy. Nala
You can play it in
sucks.
Peace Comp.
Yeah. Nala sucks,
Nala,
Ryza.
yeah, Nala. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I play a lot with Atrocity, the Arid Atrocity. So
I
this
underrated it, and you were correct. It's better.
it's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I did some nasty shit where I had it's so good with Poet. So I had Poet, it's a dragon, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
I Nightbaned it with Poet. So I have like this 400 damage Divine Shield Atrocity with Reborn
With
on
Reborn,
it.
yeah.
And then I just play Cultists.
Yeah,
And I was just
yeah.
like, it's just endless stream of
Yeah.
shit flying at the opponent. And just because it deals so much damage when when it's like when it comes out of the Cultist, it's like deals 400 Divine Shield, but then it also respawns and then it has Reborn. So it's like you can't really scab it. It's hard to deal with, man. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of Atrocity
It's better
stuff.
than I thought. You
Yeah.
are correct with your analysis.
So one of the last games we played before we came on here, it was actually the flute game where we played the double
oh yeah, I remember.
Ghoulacabra.
Yeah.
I actually played Golden Atrocity with Reborn and double Golden Ghoulacabra, and I had a Golden Cultist and a regular Cultist.
Yeah.
And it was pretty gross.
And
It's
I
just the
at
same,
the
right?
last fight I played Golden Magnimus, which steals a minion from my teammate's board, right? With
It's
Reborn.
two because it's
Yeah.
golden.
Yeah, two,
Oh.
right? So I got the Reborn,
Yeah,
I
you
got
get
the
the
cult this
trophy.
time. I'm like, oh, thank you for your board, Seth. Like,
You got
appreciate
them
it.
in the right order too?
Well, he taunted his
Right,
cultist, but it survived the attack. So yes.
Yeah, because I had double Golden Ghoulacabra, so the Cultist was like 100.
Yeah,
Well, not
that
for
makes
me, it's just 1 HP.
Sure,
you know.
that's true. Actually, for you, because the Magnimus spawns it with the
But
same amount of
it
attack.
gets
for
buffed by the
1 HP.
Chupacabra, so it had like 8 attack, 9 attack. That was enough to survive a hit. So yeah, it worked
But
out.
on topic, the only thing I can really add to this conversation is, can we appreciate how cute that card art is?
Sure.
It's
That is really good card art.
if you see it up close, you're like, okay, it's not a Murloc. But for most people, like, what the fuck? That's not a Murloc, right? So
It looks like a
it's,
Murloc.
I'm still
yeah,
convinced
it's a frog.
it's
a
definitely not a
frog.
beast.
Yeah, it's a
When
Murloc.
you look at it up front, right? So close up, I think, right, you can see frog, right? It's
Yeah.
fine.
I
So
don't know.
And we
If
know
you want to
frogs
argue
are
it's not a
beast.
Murloc, I can entertain it. But if you're trying to argue it's a beast, I'm not sure
No.
I can go there.
frogs, leapers for beasts, right? So that makes it a bit
Aren't
easier.
Murlocs basically just frogs?
I think they're a humanoid frog, so yeah, that's fair. That's
Something
fair.
with Finn in its name should be a Murloc, though. That's
Yeah.
true. It has Finn in
Maybe
its
make it
name.
a Murloc beast. Yeah. Okay.
There are a lot of Murlocs with the Finn in their
Fine,
name.
we'll raise that very important balance argument.
Very true.
But yeah, this to me is just, oh man, it's gonna be a problem.
This
with
is a
Heinemar.
Sneed level mistake. I hear you. All right.
No, not that. It's just gonna be. I think they've just increased the discrepancy between the really good heroes and like the rest.
Sure.
For high MMR specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
high MMR. Now, granted, they did have sort of that unlimited hero power crag that's now less of a thing. Zephyrus does no longer go infinite without the thing. So that has been removed. But now that things are, but I didn't expect that to stay in the game anyway, right? But now that things are settling down a little bit, I think the difference between hitting a Murloc Holmes or a Scabs and then the rest, right? It's going to be just way bigger. Now that they've, we'll talk about that. But so yeah, Edwin tier 1 of
I do agree. I think a lot of the balance changes this patch are skew towards the lower MMR data set.
Which makes sense because do you want to balance for your 0.5% or your 99.5%?
I hear you.
The 0.5% stream, sorry.
Yeah, that's true. They're the ones complaining and having visibility in your game, so you gotta fix that.
Did you go to the Edwin buddy, say Edwin is shit, and then skip past it immediately? Is that what happened?
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'll put it this way. Do you guys feel enticed to play Edwin now that it's tier 1 buddy?
No. So here's my analysis. Okay, Edwin is shit. You can go on.
To be fair, I also did that. Wait a minute.
But this is one of the most... So they're just like, okay, we literally can't make it a tier 0, right? So let's make it a tier 1, and maybe people will pick Edwin.
Is that what you did? You're like, Edwin's bad, move on? Because that's exactly what I did.
He verbatim said Edwin is shit and then skipped.
I think that's a normal reaction. If you're used to reviewing cards, I think skip and don't waste time here is a normal reaction.
Can I ask a hypothetical? If you got that, if it was like Curator or like...
you start with it. Oh.
Or like N'Zoth, where you start with that. If your buddy is start with this minion, would you play it if you started with this turn 1 and never had to pay for it? Like, do you think Edwin would actually be a good hero?
Oh, that would be cool, right? Like,
do I make it golden and stuff with my, or like what? Do I have
like
a buddy?
The first time you do it, you get 2. You see, like you'll have 2 on the board. You'll have the one you got in this. Yeah, that would actually be kind of sick. I'd be kind of down to try that.
Yeah, I'll play it if I have it for free.
Yeah. Turn 1.
Do you think it would be? What I'm asking you is, where do you think, like hypothetically, would that be like an S tier hero or a B tier hero?
Probably.
No, I don't think it's S at all. No. It's like
probably tier B, probably like below A.
So you're saying it would be an average to above average hero if you started with this on your board turn 1 without having to pay for it.
Slightly above average.
MMRs, right? We have to talk about MMRs. So for my game, if I have to value this is still not really gonna go crazy where I'm suddenly gonna... I'm selling this, basically.
That tells you how unplayable this hero is.
It's a scaling N'Zoth. Like, it's playable until a point, and if you're getting a buddy, you play it till you get the golden one, then you sell it. It's a tier 1 buddy. It's a tier 1 buddy. Come on. The other one. Not the... Okay, N'Zoth's too good. The other one. The other one that starts with 2/2, you get a +1 if you sell a minion. That's the one I'm talking about. N'Zoth, ignore that one. That one just has its own tier. But the scaling one, it's a scaling that one. Ozama, whatever is it.
That's kind of funny where, N'Zoth is a good example because N'Zoth is a 2/2 that does start on your board.
Yeah.
And we
so Curator.
No. But I mean, I want to just like talk about N'Zoth specifically because that's all he does, right?
Yeah.
And we still play him. But this thing, because it doesn't trigger the death rattles, it's like still way worse.
Yeah, for sure.
So... And that's if you would get it for free at the start of the game. Yeah. So Saf has a really good point. This is worse than N'Zoth if they gave it to you for free.
Yeah, they buff Edwin and make him start with this like as a as a thing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for that insight. I feel really bad for Edwin right now. All right. So yeah, these two essentially, right? These two I think are the misses for high MMR, Watfin, and then you guys are obviously gonna have a lot more to say on Scabs being a tier 3. So I'll let you guys go first because.
Personally, couldn't believe this. Yeah, I was like, "What is they doing?" But I understand it. Like Scabs sometimes loses. Sometimes you got to buff that.
100% win rate.
Almost like Reno. Reno starts losing. Let's buff it a little bit.
My poor Reno, my baby.
Yeah, but definitely in duos, like it's very consistent to even tier 4. It just felt strong, felt very good. You just steal tier 6 buddies. Like that's the problem. Like you just get tier 6 buddies and then you pass it to your teammate and they abuse the hell out of it. And just getting it early it makes it very consistent that you're gonna get something abusable. Because the whole lobby is not playing tier 3 and lower. Like there's someone's playing a tier 5, someone's playing a tier 6 buddy, and they moved a lot of the good heroes to tier 5, tier 6. So you're just getting these tools much earlier than your opponent.
That's the 1-2 punch here, right?
Yeah,
them making it cheaper, and the rest is more expensive.
That's the biggest problem. Is like everybody else, it takes almost everybody else. It takes even longer, like 1 or 2 turns longer to get your buddy. But with Scabs, you get your buddy a turn sooner, and you're stealing their buddies that they're getting later. So it's like it's like a 2-turn difference now.
Yeah.
Where it's like you get it sooner and they get it a
And
turn
that's the
later.
regular one, not the golden one. You know, you start.
I don't think you get it. I don't think you get it sooner because I got this on turn 4, right? But okay, I will say most people wouldn't get this on turn 4 because I would just like sell my board to do this, right? Because that's how good it was. It would like cost me 9 gold. I'll literally sell 3.
Okay,
Yeah, but now you can get it on turn 4 with keeping your board.
We weren't doing
Yeah,
that.
exactly. But I'm just saying you're not okay. Most people were getting it at least a
Turn
turn
5.
earlier.
Right.
Most
Turn
people
5
were
is
not
usually
selling your
when people get it.
right. So I do hear you. Yeah, so I think that I don't know when the next balance window is going to be, but I'd be surprised if this survives for more than 2 weeks because I think the numbers are going to just
Hopefully.
yeah. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's so skewed
I
where they would
wouldn't
have
be
to really
surprised.
at the level.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if this is giga broken for the average player. Again, like it sounds so arrogant, like, oh, the average player can they even play cards? Right? It's so hard where there's
They're gonna be
so many-
they're gonna be on your games and just like, I'm the average player and get wrecked. Like,
get wrecked, right?
I will
Wrecked
play
by
my
an average
Caligos.
player,
Get wrecked.
Okay. Well, and I mean, it fries my brain as well, right? When I'm playing buddies and I just have so many different things that I could be doing, and then you have to make the decision: do I keep them for one more turn? Do I need to put some tempo down? How much damage am I taking? So it's not easy compared to other things they have to do in the game to manage all the value scabs get. But if you can, then it's obviously just giga broken.
Yeah. Very strong.
All right. Yeah, this seems fine to me. I like Varden. I think it was I played Varden and it was okay, but it felt a tad too expensive. So tier 3 seems solid to me.
Yeah. Varden's like not crazy, but
yeah,
because you have to level, and it's like it takes a while in duos to level, and it's like the payoff isn't that much. Like, oh, you got +5/+5 on your minion, like, UP, like, who cares?
Yeah, that's like this is a reasonable change. Like, I think it's still like Varden was maybe like C, like low C tier. Maybe she's like high C tier now. Like, I think she probably stays in the same tier. She just moves up the
B
list in
plus
that
to
tier.
C, yeah, I can see it.
well, it depends a little bit because a lot of people are getting hit, right, with their buddies being more expensive. And Draconic, right? Varden doesn't really care about Draconic.
The problem is
so...
the heroes people are picking are not those ones, you know? Like, people just take the ones that are good anyways, so it's
I mean,
for them
the
nothing
way how
changed.
it works with offering, right? That's not always.
I don't know if I picked a nerfed hero today. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I did. So yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of the ones that got nerfed are the tribal ones, which are almost exclusive, like with the exception of like Ashara, are just like bad anyway.
You guys are one of those pay to win players, right? That have 4 options.
Yeah, and then like Snake Eyes got nerfed hard on her buddy, but like Snake Eyes is still better than Varden even with the buddy changes.
Right. Yeah. Sadly.
Oh man, I feel like Edwin
Unplayable.
on this one. It's not quite Edwin, but it evokes the same feeling.
Yeah, our opponents played, and we just like, yeah, I'm sorry for you.
Poor thing.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I picked this one time because I'm just like, I guess I'll just take armor, and I was just like, yep, this is worse than a Lasher. Nice.
The best time I see this is when Master Wind gets the Rakara trigger. Like that's the only time I'm like, oh, Rakara's ability, yeah, on Master Wind. I guess that's fine. Like,
right. Okay. Oh yeah, this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
So yeah, have you guys played this? Any thoughts? I'll go over it. Sorry, I've been doing the thing I tell Collins not to do. So we're talking about the Galewing buddy, right? So I've been saying this and that, and sometimes people just listen. So sorry if you've been listening all this time. Be like, what are they talking about?
Galewing
it's the
buddy.
the Galewing buddy going from tier 2 to tier 1. Yeah.
We haven't played. We didn't play this today, right? We talked about it today.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't gotten to test it.
There's a curve I'm thinking about. Yeah, Collins.
I'm of the experience that people are curving wrong, and I think Galewing even tier 2 was good, and I just think everyone was not to be like a hater, but I think 2 weeks people are gonna figure out the Galewing curve, and this Chris gonna be OP as hell. And that's my curve.
I was a new curve the other day.
Yeah, you did, and it was good. And now I'm down. I believe in it. You know, it's strong.
So I think
I taught him the 1-2-3 curve.
right. I think you can do 1-1-3 now, where you can take one, right? Then because it's a one tier 1 buddy, I think you can actually level on 6 gold and pop this out. And then on 7
For
gold,
1
your
gold?
thing, yeah, and then on 7 gold, your thing goes off and you pull 2 3-drops.
Okay, my idea is 1-2-1-2-1. Just get the
1 2
money.
1 2 1
Just
2
get
1
4 gold every
Wow.
2 turns. Like
You just want 4 gold every other turn.
yeah. It's like I think
Yeah,
well, every 3 turns. Every 3 turns.
3-drops.
Yeah,
2
yeah.
3-drops is much better than 4 gold. When you're still filling your board.
It depends.
When elementals are in, I agree.
Yeah, well,
Like-
you be quiet.
But even 2 just like tempo 3-drops, it's very
Yeah,
hard to make the argument you'd rather have 4 gold when your board's not full yet.
Can you always get this on turn 4 though for 1 gold?
Right, let's do the math. So what does it
I
start
don't want to do the
out
math.
as?
I'm just gonna play games with this and see how it feels, and then let you know how it feels.
My thinking is because you make your guy +2/+2, you're winning your fight, so it's pretty darn likely.
You're winning the second and third fight. I don't know if you win the first one doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah,
Like the
turn
first one,
one, you're
like,
not guaranteed to win, but after then you're starting.
Right,
To
so
win.
maybe it's not an always. Let's see, buddy.
I've been liking the money. That's all I'm saying. You know, like sometimes I'd rather have money than minions. You know, but yeah, I agree.
Okay, so for a tavern tier 1, it's 11 for the
so
first cost.
9, then
6, then
6,
3.
then 3.
Yeah,
It's gonna cost 3, assuming you lose. If you win your first fight or tie your first fight,
it's
then
2.
it'll cost 2. So
Right,
you
which
could
is
level
really
someone
good.
here,
Yeah,
or level someone buddy.
Right.
and that's
So I
if you
guess you
don't
could
get a
see,
pen
right?
pal. If you get a pen pal, then yeah, that's good.
True.
Or even a careful investment or like a scout on the board, right?
Yeah,
But I guess you can.
It
I guess
usually
you
costs
can
2.
just. Yeah, but I think what you do is you just pop it and then see if you win the first fight or not.
Yeah, and then you
And
decide if you want to take it, the money.
Yeah, because then the
Discord.
chance
Yeah.
that you're going to keep winning is pretty high, right? Because you now have a 2/2
Mhm.
buff, and then you can do that curve. And otherwise, you go what is it, 1 2 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll figure
Because
it
with
out.
1, 2, 3, you can wait till the buddy's free, and that'll be the turn that you're gonna like. That'll be right before you get your double proc on the gold. So then you just get 4 gold.
What tier are you on
3.
to pull your guys? Sorry, to pull your 3.
What
If
do
you
you
don't
mean to
want
pull your
Tier
3?
3? You're on tier 3 to
So-
pull your 3s, right? What do you mean? What tier am I on?
Right, you say 1 2 3, right? So you take the first flight path, then you take the money. So when you eventually pull your minions from your tier, are you still on tier 3 or not? Or
So
what tier?
when your money with the 1, 2, 3 curve, when your money procs is on 6 gold, so it gets the 6 gold turn, so you can level for 5. You have 8 gold because you get the extra 2 on 6 gold, so you can level by a minion.
Yeah.
And then after that, you do your 3, and it really just depends on what your game plan is. Like generally speaking, it's Tavern 4 in duos because it costs 2 extra to go from 3 to 4, and 2 extra to go from 4 to 5. In
Yeah.
solos, you could just literally go 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right?
And then take double 5 drop, right? Like you could even go for double 6 drop if you wanted to. Because wait, no, can you 3?
No,
Go
that
to 4,
sounds
4 go to
very
1 2
hard.
3
You could, no,
sounds
you could,
ambitious.
you could, right? Because you just level.
Yeah, but would you live?
And you got the
Like
2/2.
you could, but can you, right? Okay. Well, anyways, we're not going to spend too much time with it, but it's an interesting one. It's a good one to talk about. Okay, Waxed Red went from a tier 5 to a tier 4. This was pretty strong for me, so buffing it was interesting.
Yeah,
It
seems like
doesn't-
necessary.
It doesn't do anything, but at least initially, because you're waiting until your opponents have a stealable target. So
Sometimes I was still paying money for this, so
yeah, okay. I guess it does help. It's
just a little bit.
this buff wasn't necessary, but I don't think it
Well, I think what happened is they changed some armor, right? So they took some armor away. So I can see that sort of take some armor away and then just give him this to not just take armor away.
You know what really happened is they think that they nerfed this hero passively by making every buddy in the game a 6 drop. So all you're ever gonna get is buddies whenever you play this.
But a lot of the time that's good. I want to steal 9 frogs. I want to steal Sylvanas.
Yeah, but
I'm-
there's
I'm
also
okay
like
with
you want to steal the Quillbore buddy or the
No
Sneed
one's
buddy when you get
playing
no
that.
death
No one's
rattle.
playing. Don't
nobody be
lie.
playing them players, yeah.
But they don't. This isn't for us.
I guess.
This is for the others.
I
What,
don't.
the
I honestly don't
others?
think it's.
Yeah,
I think
the
it's
Memar
more of
deprived.
I think it's really just like, oh, we're gonna lower some armor. It's either one or the other, right? They're just like, oh, we'll make the buddy a bit cheaper and then take some armor away, or the other way around.
Was Cogwaggle performing poorly?
I don't think so.
It was performing really well for me. Like I was.
Yeah. I've only had good
consistently winning
experiences with
this
it.
shit. Especially because you could trigger battle cry, right? So some turns you just kept stealing and stealing. Like I had one person leave a
I did
Sylvanas
a
on their
game
board.
like that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I did a game like that. I got Draconic with this, and I got Nala, and then they stopped. They sold the Nala or something, and I was just like, "Why? Please stop! Put your Nala back."
Wink, wink, wink.
That Nala was mine. Yeah.
Well, they might have just played another 6-drop and you didn't know what you.
Yeah, I know. That's probably what happened, but that's not what I want to believe. I want to believe they
Sounds
saw
like
me.
they rather sell their Nala than let you win.
Yeah.
That's a disgusting person.
I mean, I won anyways, but yeah. This used to be old Mutinous stat line, right?
Well, old Mutinous would spit onto 2 more. That's why it was OP.
Oh.
Was it 2 of them?
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Yeah. So when you devour this, spit its stats onto 2 extra minions.
I'm down for old Mutinous. Power creep is back. I'm down for it.
It was so boring though. It's just like
okay.
nom, and then spit.
So
and then,
bad
like
in duos.
you could play that curve with your eyes closed. Really, just I eat, I buy, I eat, I buy, I sell it. I eat on my guy. I buy 2 more. I eat.
Where's my deflectors? Yeah.
Yeah. Just roll for deflector and then huge deflectors. Yeah. So I think at high level this is still not really a thing, but it's not. I don't think it's bad in general because you just make one huge minion, then you eat your huge minion onto your ectoplasm. You buy 2 more minions. You eat your ectoplasm, then you rush your next set of buddies. You transfer your biggest minion on top of the next ectoplasm. Then you eat that one. Then that jumps to your other ectoplasm, and then you get a lot of numbers. But it's pretty capped. It's pretty much just mech lobby, play Deflectobot, make big Deflectobot.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it.
No, for high level play, it does not generate enough stats. I think.
Yeah, and then while you're ramping it up over the course of like 10 turns, like you queue into 1 curator and you just take 15 because you have 1 minion.
Yeah, you do. It's pretty sad right now.
Zarella, yeah.
I played this earlier today, and I got the Alec out. I got the Alec out early, and I promptly lost every single fight after that.
Yeah, we were
while
forced to do it
cheesing
today
stats
as well.
on it left and right. Yeah. So
I got it turn 4.
Yeah, turn 4 with a hero power, right?
Yep. Yes, with the exactly. It was the exact gold. It cost 5, it cost 4, and then I hero powered for.
And then I procced it every single turn afterwards, at least one time, and I just lost. And I was just
there used to be more synergy when this came out, but the cards in the pool have changed drastically, and it's only like Tavern Tempest. Yeah. So it just sucks. You could double its stats and it'd still be rough.
Because I was a little hopeful. I was like, okay, right, I should at least win all my fights. And then I just lost all my fights. I was like, oh my god. Not good.
They made a bad buddy better, and now it's bad.
Hopefully we can bait some people into playing it and draws. That's how it is.
Now, if you started with this turn 1 on your buddy...
that would be kind of strong.
It'd probably be a little too strong.
Yeah.
2/2 whenever you play for sure.
It would just let you level like ridiculously.
Yeah, that'd be a little much.
All right. For once, I'm fine with this. Give Galley a little something.
I don't like buffing Galley, but I think it's probably fine.
It's kind of scary to pick Galley right now.
I think there's not people are playing Galley in the wrong lobbies, right? Not just only Ellie Pirates and Naga Dragons.
But still, okay. So especially pre-nerf, the other person were more Gallywix than you, right? Like Crag was more of a Gallywix.
Yeah, that's true.
True. But we only pick Gallywix in a lobby that has Pirate and Ellie both.
Yeah, which is correct. I
Yeah,
think.
so it feels better because we're like, oh, at least the types are in. But I think people are just playing it whenever and dying, and then like, what do they do? You know, how are we living? It's like, yeah, you don't have anything to go for it. What are you looking for? There's no Ellie's, there's no
That's
fire tree.
Like Murlocs to an extent helps a little bit because then at least you can
Sure.
go into
I can buy tads, poggers. Yeah, I hear you.
It's more like Primal Fin, right? And then you can play Murky Murkai. I can play a lot of Murky Murkai. The comp's solid.
Yeah, it's hard to get because it's two 6-drops.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the time I just push 6 and then play my Primal Fin. It's like, all right, come on, Murky Murkai.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, this one's interesting. So I have some experience with this today. But what has your experience been?
Vune's good. Vune's good even before the nerfs.
Duos.
I've convinced you.
Yeah, you've convinced me. Yeah. I didn't want to play Vune earlier.
Vune is my hero.
Okay.
It's my favorite hero.
Yeah,
He's your people.
Yeah, he's not the best hero, but he's my favorite hero. Like, so before the nerf, or before I guess the buff, before the buff, you could consistently get it out on turn 5, which is the turn you want to get it out on because that means on turn 6 you're getting a golden of whatever's in your hand.
Yeah.
I'm assuming now you can get it on turn 4, which I don't know if that really matters. Now you're copying on 5. I mean, you're doing 5, 7, 9, so now 9 is the golden card as opposed to 6.
It just means you can play one on the boards. Like that's it. Like which is fine, right? Instead of copying it, you can just play one, and you have the other.
Yeah. Now the 3-drop that you copy on turn 6,
Yeah.
usually it's gonna be a 3-drop because that's what happens on turn 5.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it just means that you can play a 3-drop on your board.
Yeah,
which is good. Sooner before you golden it, but.
I mean, but it also means that the next one is quicker too. So you're always one turn ahead. So even though the first one's unsynced, the next one should be synced up.
No, so it'll go 5, 7, 9.
Oh right, the third one is synced up. Okay.
Yeah, if you're playing this on turn 4, it'll go 5, 7, 9.
Yeah.
Now you could always still just wait till turn 5 and just get it cheaper because generally speaking, turn 5 it's your whole turn to get this on turn 5.
Right.
Now you will be able to buy a minion while also getting the buddy on turn 5. But I think that what it changes is instead of getting your golden buddy around turn 10 or 11, you might be able to get it possibly turn 9.
Overall, it's a big buff, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Because if you can get it turn 9, you can take a 5 or you can take a 6-drop 1 turn sooner, and it's turn 9, so you're going to be copying it, like you're going to be goldening it. Does that make sense? Because it's your turn 9 turn, so you get your hero power and your golden buddy activation on the 6-drop.
Did you guys try copying the buddy itself with the hero power?
I haven't because it takes too long, and we usually have a different game plan. But I've seen people do it in duos.
It's slow.
Well,
yeah. I did it. I did it. I won the game, but it nearly killed me. So
yeah, it's slow initially, but then it's way faster, right? I can see it.
Yeah. But the problem is it's a 3/3 now as well, so it's really hard to keep 2 3/3s on your board. So
yeah, they did get the stats. That's true.
Yeah, so I think that with the 5/5s it was probably a little bit more viable, right? But now it's so hard because that's your 6-goal turn, right? So then for the 9-goal turn, you still need to have 2 3/3s on your board. That's a rough one. So yeah, I'm a big fan of just slamming this, but I figured I'd try it. Chat's always like, copy the buddy. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good, right?
Yeah, I'm like, just let me copy a 6-drop. Why am I copying this buddy?
Let me make real minions.
Yeah, I think ideally it's still get it turn 5 and then try to golden at turn 9. But...
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, this one's interesting. So as I said, we rarely see the 2-tier jump, and with Flurk, they're moving the buddy from tier 5 to tier 3.
It's because they killed this hero. They absolutely killed this hero a while ago when they changed the from cell. It was cell like 4 to cell 5 or whatever, and it's just like, damn, you can't play this anymore. And then
I think, yeah, go ahead.
This was playable back in the buddy meta because you would go this and you'd make primal fins, and then they had to nerf it. But now, now in this meta, it's like this card's unplayable and it's losing, and the buddy's tier 5 for some whatever reason. So yeah, they have to nerf it. I mean, they have to buff it, but it doesn't change it.
Primal
4?
Fin on 4 instead of 5. Like that's the reason that they killed Flurgle.
Yeah.
It's moving Primal Fin to 5.
Because I think if you change nothing else, but you make Primal Fin on 4, Flurk is fine.
Yeah, because
Probably,
you
yeah.
stay on
Yeah,
4, you
yeah.
triple into 5s, you
Yeah.
look for a brand,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
like
and you're good to go. Yeah.
you cycle on 4.
Because now with
Now-
green, like actually just slamming so many Murlocs is actually quite reasonable.
Yeah. In this meta, is it good enough? I don't know, but that's the reason.
I know.
that Flurgle got
It's
killed.
no. I can tell
No
you.
for Collins, right? Yeah.
One of my first duo games with a random, they played Flurgle and they did well, and I was like, I'm proud of you. I saw they picked Flurgle, I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. But they actually played well, so I got to give it to them. You know, that one random duo partner, he's out there, like, yeah, all right, good for you.
All right, wow, this one. Yeah, now we're getting all the interesting changes. So Thorum's buddy went from a tier 3 to a tier 2.
Big ETC buff.
Yeah,
Big ETC
big
buff,
ETC
yeah.
buff,
That's basically what matters here. That's true.
It's okay. I played Thorm today, and it was good too. So
Yeah.
it's also fine.
So I always struggle a bit with this. So is there any specific thing you do to get it faster, or are you just like literally upgrading it?
Oh, give me a 5, teammate. Thank you.
Can I put a caveat on this? Can we put a caveat on this? I was Togwaggle. I used my buddy to get a 5 and send it to him the same turn.
You were failing. You were failing.
Sorry, failing. Yeah.
You're failing, and he just gets a free 5, and I'm like, oh, thank you for the 6.
Yeah.
It was so broken.
I spent my entire turn. I sold 2 minions to Buddy at the start of the turn to send him a 5-drop.
Yeah. Feels good. I like it. You know, felt good for me.
Should probably disable farm and duos.
So we had like a turn 5 pokey.
Yeah.
But I think in general.
And you turned it into a 7-drop, right?
No, I kept it. I was
he has this weird thing about pokey. He likes it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been trying to talk him down from that ledge for a while.
I still like it. Yeah. It's better now. You know, it's less crazy.
So what turn can you realistically
we have
get
legit lost duo games because I kept it pokey. It's fair. What can you do?
Just one more gem buff copium. It'll be strong enough next turn. Copium. Yeah. All right.
Can you get this buddy on turn 4?
Yeah, if you want to.
And like I'm just trying to figure out like what level or what gold can you get this on? Is it 6 gold? 7 gold?
You can get 6 gold. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Like 100% on 6 gold.
So on 6 gold, you get a 3-drop, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
7,
Which is
4,
like, that's a good turn, right? You put that down and you evolve it to like a ooze. You get the buff. And
so turn 7, you have a 6-drop on your board.
9 gold turn, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not horrible because at least the nice thing is every turn you can check if the card you got is like usable. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, because it can turn into a 7, there's a huge incentive to keep upgrading it.
I'm willing to I'll stop my gambling. Like, nope, I'm done gambling.
He stopped on a crooner. Like
really, really good one.
I did, yes, I did stop on a crooner. Yeah, that's me.
All right.
But you can also golden the buddy a lot sooner too, which is extremely that might even be more relevant than the first part of it.
The issue I've had with Thorm is that I always feel like I have to sell this so fast. I basically get 1 or 2 7s, and then I'm just like, all right.
So the nice thing is that in duos, like I can be weak, you know, like it's fine.
Yeah. It's so different, such a different experience.
We also usually stop on 6s because I feel like the 7s a lot of the times. It depends on the tribes, obviously, but I feel like a lot of the times the 7s are not as good as 6s.
Good as the 6s, yeah.
6s are much more directional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
right.
True. There's a couple like Sea Witch and stuff like that. You know, they're pretty decent.
Okay.
It's just you.
We have a third guest. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll be. I think we're nearly done, right? What do we have here?
We should be pretty good. Yeah.
General does not matter unless there's any objections.
Nope.
No.
I don't know anything about this guy. You can tell me in a second, and then we're done. Okay. So enlighten me. I'm on True.
Goya was, I think, removed for a while until the patch. Yeah. So we haven't really got to play Goya that much, but we did play Well, I stole her buddy today, so it was pretty good. Like I just like so I got a Nala, I passed a Nala, I get another Nala, and he passed the Nala back to me, golden Nala. Okay, that was free.
So for context, what Goya does is it's a 2-cost hero power, and it's pass a minion. So basically, you can do it in the shop, you can do it on your board, whatever. It costs 2 gold to send the minion to your teammate. So for context, normally it'd be 3 gold to buy the minion, 1 gold to send it. So normally it costs 4 gold if you want to send a minion. But Goya does all that in one action for 2 gold.
Very good.
And but in order to farm the big things, you'd probably just eat the extra gold and just give the 6-drop, right?
So generally, if you're playing Goya, you don't normally even have a minion on your board, or maybe you have one minion
passenger.
until like turn
you have
6
a passenger.
or 7.
That's what you're.
Because every turn you're using your hero power to send a minion.
Yeah. So the other guy would get a high tier minion and then pass it to you.
Yes, they power level because they have a full board.
Yeah.
So they power level, and then they pass you the minion. You pass it back, but you keep 1 copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next turn you pass them another. You pass them that copy again,
and then
you pass it again. And so every turn you give them a copy of their Bran or their Goldrin or Nala or whatever. Like
you flooping.
Whatever their win card is.
You flooping with extra steps. That's
right. I guess that is fair. But you get to play Goya instead of Floop.
Yeah, but I think actually Floop's better than Goya, which is funny because I would not have said that at the beginning of this. Right. But now that I think Floop actually has too many like upsides.
Floop as a buddy, I think, is stronger. Goya as a champion is much stronger. So tempo wise, it's.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
But we're in buddy meta, baby. So.
We'll wrap it up here then. So I have to go as well.
Any final thoughts, Seth? Being our guest.
No. I think I'm okay with the changes. I feel like they maybe missed the mark on a few of them, but it's the first set, so
I wasn't talking about the patch. I was like, this is being in the podcast. You enjoy, what are your thoughts on the podcast flow, that kind of thing. I don't care about
you guys. You guys do a wonderful job. I will say, I am incredibly impressed with the amount of time and effort it takes to make the entire patch notes into PowerPoint. That takes a lot of time and effort to do that. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's full credit to my editor's Zod.
Yeah. Shout out Zod.
Whoever it is that's doing it, it's very well done and it's impressive.
He'll appreciate
it. That's
awesome.
a nice touch.
Yeah.
I'll
clip that.
It's better than scrolling down Hearthstone Blizzard website.
That's exactly what he says. He's like, look, look professional. Come on. Take the effort. All right, Colin, send us off. I gotta go.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I'm playing duos with Sapphire. He's been doing really well. He's really high rated. He's been hard carrying and shady with the consistent YouTube videos and the stream. So you can catch him there on the Twitter and Twitch. So hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll see you in the next one. And whenever the next patch comes out, or in 2 weeks, or whatever it is.
See you guys in 2 to 3 weeks. All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Peace out.
See you guys.
All right.